All right, you ready? Let's kick this thing off. There's 16 people on now, so this is like a big deal.
Woo!
So
Look at us, we're cooking.
I know.
Cooking.
Fancy new setup. You brought out like the fancy lights today too.
Yeah, had to show off the goods, man.
For sure.
All right. So I mean, without further ado, obviously this live stream is brought to you by Draggin Bags, guys. Battle of the Bags, Draggin Bags, because they're the greatest bags that we love to throw. We'll dangle our goods in front of your faces. You know, just be sure to pick up the jaw off the floor.
Yep.
Draggin Bags, great bags. Head over to dragginbags.com. Drop code BIGASS12 at checkout and save yourself some money, because if you're not, then you're dying right now.
You are.
I feel bad for you.
As right before we're about to talk about like bag bracket.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
just
So
all
just to
that.
remind you, Draggin Bags.
Correct.
Okay. Draggin Bags. We're talking about bags today.
Correct.
And let's pitter patter. Let's get at her.
Let's do it.
Welcome to the Big Ass Cornhole Show with Sean and Dane, the host you know, talking cornhole life and random fun. Grab a beer, let's get it done. From tossing bags to let's wild ride, tune in and join the party, don't you hide. It's the Big Ass Cornhole podcast time with Sean and Dane. It's always prime. With Sean is
with Sean, it's prime.
Well, folks,
Like you say
welcome
your name
back
twice.
to another episode of the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast, a special episode this week. We're going live on Facebook, so if you're watching, thank you very much. We have a special guest with us today because this is an ultra special episode. We have Mike from Mike's Bags. What's going on, man?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Good.
Thanks for having me
joining
on
us.
here.
This has been awesome. Yeah, this was like a no-brainer for us that once we decided to bring, do Best of the Bags again, you collaborated with us last year, went over really well. So this just seemed like a no-brainer for us to bring you on again.
Yeah, I enjoyed last year. That was a blast. I'm looking forward to the improvements to this year's as well. I think people are going to be really enjoy the changes you guys have made to this Best of the Bags bracket.
Well, and let's make it clear. I mean, this is a full collaboration. I mean, you were just as much a part of it with us this year. So we seriously, behind the scenes, thank you very much for all the parts.
I mean, we're passing the torch over to you,
Yeah,
brother. You're the bad guy now.
Yeah. So we needed your help. So thank you for your guidance.
Expertise. Thank you.
Correct. All right. So
I appreciate it.
obviously, super busy week.
Yeah.
All right. As always,
But Sean, it's never
never
too
dull.
busy
It's never.
to have a beverage.
Correct. So Dane, do what you do best every single week. Let the folks know what we're sipping on tonight in our favorite segment called "What You Drinking."
Oh, hit the wrong
Wow,
button.
the first time ever?
Pressure.
Really?
Pressure.
Wow.
What you drinking?
All right, Dane, take it away.
We got Southern Tier Irish Cream Stout, letting it rip. Proudly brewed in Lakewood, New York. Delicious. Big fan of this place. I shout them out all the time on this podcast. So this is their little Irish Cream Stout, 5.8%. It's a great sipping beverage.
Yeah, it's not my
We're
typical
discussing
go-to,
some
but
bag.
it's good.
Yeah,
You had to talk me into it the first time.
it's a one or two and done, but
Yeah.
it's a little huskier Guinness, if you will. Not too bad.
That's a really good way to put it. Yeah, it is. Husky.
I know my beer,
Can we bring back that term?
dude. Right? Why can't men's clothes say husky? It made me feel so much better.
Is it because it's like a cute term? Like when you're like chubby, little, it's just like a more manly term than chubby.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're a husky fella.
Yeah,
They're
correct. Because I mean, Mike, I don't know if you were among us. I don't looking body size. I don't think you were ever in that section, but we kind of like lived in that section. You know, what I mean, there's certain
I
clothing.
remember the Husky section. I didn't visit it very often, but I do remember it
so you
being,
kind of just
being
walked right
available.
by, like laughing. Yeah, correct. You're like the in shape kid. making
Well,
fun
I
of
went from like the emaciated, oh my god, is that kid gonna last a day longer? To like he needs to put the fork down like in the blink of an eye.
You've had some seriously wild weight fluctuations in your lifetime.
Yeah, and honestly, I feel like I'm back on another one right now.
I was gonna say
I know,
something to you
dude.
the other
I've,
day.
like,
You are
I've,
trimming out.
I've dropped like 30 pounds.
I know you.
Like
I
a
was.
month.
I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to like jinx it.
Yeah,
You're-
it's
man, you're looking good.
you know, just got the gym ready.
So we told
Pumping
you
it
what
up.
we're drinking. Mike, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm more of a whiskey guy than a beer guy, so I got the Peerless Bourbon, the single barrel, 121.5 proof.
Special occasion. Let's bust it out, right?
Hell yeah.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah. All right, so we have more audio goal planned for
We
you
better
always.
hurry through these bags if he's sipping on bourbon.
I don't know.
All
It's
right?
gonna be way more entertaining. So
It's gonna be give it about
yeah.
a half hour to an hour. It'll be really entertaining.
Oh, I can't
Oh,
wait.
hell
So
yeah.
like that second, like when we get
All right,
down to
we'll-
like the nitty
We'll
gritty.
milk it a little
Oh,
bit.
we are
then,
going to
all
milk
right?
it for sure. All right, so more audio go plan for you all as always. Today's a big episode. Every year for the last 5 years, we've done the best of the bags bracket.
Yeah.
We're announcing the bracket today. So we're going to go over some of the details of what's upcoming, the new changes, when the bracket's going to start, all the voting details, just so everyone has everything. And then we're going to start dropping the brackets. Going to go through all the matchups. Just like, if you're familiar with March Madness, how they break down each segment, we're going
Yeah.
to break it down. So, it's going to be best of the bags. We heavy on that. And then in the comment section, we are Facebook Live this week. So if you're listening to this like on Spotify or Apple and our normal Wednesday episode, we'll answer some questions towards the end. So, and we are going to be doing a bag giveaway. So up for grabs today is at least one set of bags, an unreleased big ass collab bag, Power Dragons from Draggin Bags. So we are going to drop a random question here at some point in the.
I think we start now.
You want to do it now?
Everyone tuning in.
Okay.
We got 43 people watching. So
Fair enough.
if you're watching right now, go in the comments.
Very easy.
We need your guess. We picked a random number last night. Between 1 and 10,000.
It is
written on this piece of paper behind us. Go ahead and put your guess in. If you hit it, the bags are yours or closest. All right.
Correct.
So let's do it.
So 1 to 10,000. Drop in the
1
comments.
to 10,000.
The first one that puts it down would win it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
First time we see it pop up, we'll I don't know, maybe do. Let's see.
Oh,
we could do one of
Dane
these.
upgraded the basement tonight. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Love it. And the names are flying. I love the numbers
okay,
already
here
flying.
we go.
in, so.
Here we go.
All right. So before we get into all that, we're gonna let you know what's going on in our corner lives in the segment we call In and Around the Hole.
The right button.
Correct. Nailed it. It's still weird after all these years that there's not a live read here, but I'm here for it. So, all right. So
Draggin
enough.
Bags,
So,
Draggin
Mike,
Bags.
tell us about your week. What'd you do this weekend? Did you play anywhere at all? Like, how did you keep yourself busy?
So Thursdays are my local league nights. So I played last Thursday. I'll play again this Thursday. That's kind of all I really do is play locally in my league most of the time. And then the rest of my time I'm spent throwing for reviews. I mean, between work and then doing my YouTube channel, there's not a whole lot of time. And I got my son, who's a junior in college, came home for the weekend. So I spent a little time with him.
Where's he going to school?
It's Purdue.
Oh, nice.
He's a computer science major at Purdue. So
yeah.
It's hard to
They're
believe
real
he'll
big
be a senior next year.
Right? Yeah. That's great. It flies by, man. But
I
he's
know.
like in the prime. He's like, do you ever get jealous of him?
Oh yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You live in the prime. Oh man,
the thing is like when I was that age, I didn't listen to my parents. He doesn't listen to me. Like I want to say, hey, let me tell you, enjoy this. But right when you're that age, you know it all. Your parents know nothing.
Oh yeah.
So it's funny how I see a lot of what he's doing. I'm like, yeah, I remember doing that when I was that age. He's probably a little bit further along than I am, a little smarter than I am. I never quite made it through my college career. He's further along than I made. So
doesn't matter, man. You have the knowledge. One day
you're the one with the microphone in front of your
face. Yeah,
face.
look, you're like basically famous.
Go.
There's 45 people watching.
Bingo.
So like, I mean, like you're basically famous. So let's go with that. So, this week, what'd you do?
So we had surprise birthday party for our cousin turning 40th, oldest of all the cousins.
God, that made me feel so
massive family.
God.
So yeah, it was an absolute blast. Went to dinner first at Palazzo. If you're listening, shout out to you guys. Fantastic meal. And then head on over to Tina's nightclub for the nightcap and karaoke.
And calling it a club is like
it is criminal. It is criminal, but it's okay.
It has 4 walls, has a door, and it has a bar, and it has the best bartender in Cleveland that works there.
Yes, most handsome bartender,
really?
Might I add.
Yes.
Robin Gillen.
Correct.
You guys know him as Roberto,
yes.
Yes.
You're on the show several times.
Yeah, so definitely got sauced for that.
You were enjoying yourself.
I have come to the realization that I just have not been drinking that much, so I think my tolerance is just shot now. So I'm like back to like normal peopledom. I need to realize that when I go out and drink for an all-nighter. Yeah. Like I'm like, dude, I crushed Miller Lite. Usually I could just
did crush your karaoke song.
I always do.
Obviously.
I had plenty of liquid courage going into that, but then your boy took a spill when he got back home. Dude, my porch was just a sheet of ice, and yeah, dude, it was
you have a Ring camera.
Yes.
So have you gone back to see if you have the footage?
It didn't catch me.
Oh God.
Yeah. I fell to the
I might need to
side.
talk to Amy about this. Like,
Oh,
we might need to see if we need to
It
check the
only
tapes.
stores it for 3 days.
Oh my
and
God.
Today was day 3, so it's deleted. So it's gone forever. Yeah. So yeah. No, it was I have a wicked bruise on my ass cheek. I can't show it on here, otherwise, if there's anywhere else,
Get
I would
flagged.
definitely share. Yeah. But yeah, it was it was rough, and just recovering now from that.
I see you.
Hitting the 7 tomorrow. I'm gonna go swing some golf clubs.
Sweet. Yeah, I did not. It was kind of like a weekend that just kind of flew by. I didn't do like a whole lot. We had cheerleading, so I got to go watch kindergarten and first graders play basketball again.
Sweet.
The team that we are cheering for every week remains undefeated. So like, I just want to keep
that's
everyone up to
actually
date.
sweet.
Big
Yeah.
deal.
That is a big deal.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, just went to I met you guys out.
Yeah.
Put the kids to bed, and then I met you guys out at karaoke. It's just if you've never done karaoke before, it's great people watching, and I respect
100%.
the shit out of anyone that gets up there. Even if you're terrible, it doesn't matter. If you go up there with a little charisma and passion, and there were a lot of those types of people, and let me tell you, it was. Yeah,
It's grade A at teams.
Oh my God.
Like, I mean, there's never a dull.
We ended
night
up
there.
having a whole wedding party walk in.
Yeah, why
like
not?
it was awesome.
And this place is like, I mean, it is scary when you walk
It's in the middle of a sketchy neighborhood.
Yeah. I mean,
Not that bad. It's gotten better. It's
getting better,
but
but still, it looks sketchy.
for sure.
It almost looks like a prison yard, but hey,
Yeah.
had a blast.
So at the end of this episode, we did do an interview. So we had the privilege of interviewing John and Willie.
Yeah.
Right. We stumbled across what's called the Mediocre Golf League, or I'm sorry, Mediocre Golf Association, and it is exactly what you think it is, and it is fucking amazing. So if you
Yes.
are at all like interested in golf, even just a little bit, please stick around for the interview. It's worth it, and just find out about a league that's been around for 20 years
20
and growing
years.
rapidly without them even trying. It is
Yeah.
really entertaining. We're going to be the Cleveland guy hit me up today.
Oh, hey,
So we are going to be going to at least 2 events. We're going to be playing in one event, and then we're going to be getting content at one event. We might be playing in 2. So we're just kind of working on that behind the scenes. So
Love it.
yeah. So all that stuff's going to be working out. So in between all the cornhole action, we're going to be busting out some golf content too. So
Hey, why not?
look at us evolving, right?
at that.
It only took 6 years to finally
This
do
is,
something different.
We were cocooned, if you will. Now we're ready to blossom.
Yes. So if you are just tuning in again, if you didn't hear Dane before, we are doing a live giveaway. We're giving up an unreleased set of Draggin Bags Power Dragons. Pick a number 1 through 10,000. Leave it in the
through
comments. The first one that
10,000.
gets it, we'll let you guys know at the end.
And
of the episode.
I am actively going through
You are.
this
You're
as
doing-
we go.
Dane's an
so,
excellent moderator.
Yes, and everyone, 1 guess per person. 1 guess per person. Okay.
All right.
I'm,
So
I'm tempted
let's move
to
on.
randomly like some of these number guesses just to throw people off.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, we're getting close. Who? No, we don't know. It could be any of you. So, all right.
Hey, Graham, I see you putting a second number down.
Yeah.
Mike Connell, get out of here.
Yeah, both of you guys.
Yeah, that's enough. You guys knock that off.
Call them out
Yeah.
to their face. Okay.
Right in your face.
All right, so let's go over. I think it's the best if we start with kind of like what's new with the best of the bags. If you're tuning into this, I'm assuming you kind of know what it is. Every year we do best of the bags bracket where we started off with 16 bag companies once upon a time, and we've now evolved. Last year was the first time we had 3 brackets.
Yeah.
Last year we had a slow bracket, a fast bracket, and we created the hybrid bracket
Mhm.
because hybrid bags were really starting to
It was
come
out of
full force.
necessity
It
because
just
all of those were hot bags too, so we didn't, want to have them muddying up
Correct.
fast and slow side.
So every year we want to make this a little different. In years past, we've come up with ways where we've limited bag companies to how many selections they could have.
Yeah.
That's one of perhaps the biggest change. Every bag company has been limited to 1 series of bags this year. It's up for debate on what the best bag is for that company, but every company, we wanted to, again, one of the reasons we started this in the first place is we wanted to try to bring mass awareness to as many bag companies as we can.
Yes.
So we're excited that this year we were able to put together a there's 2 brackets, 128 unique bag companies, each represented by 1 series. And let me tell you, if you think that there's, we hear all the time, like there's so many bag companies. There are a lot of bag companies, but I tell you what, there's not that many more than 128. Okay.
Yes.
Like the ones that are like really relevant. And I will say, Mike, maybe you can speak on this as well. If you're a bag company and you're not doing anything on social media, it's nearly impossible to find out and like get included in this. You
Very
got to
true.
have at least a bare minimum Facebook. I mean, we know
Mhm.
Facebook in cornhole world is still king. So you got to at least bare minimum have that. Mike, what do you think about that?
Well, that, and I'd also add that if you're a bad company and you're not in this year and you want it next year, get a hold of one of us. Reach out
Correct.
to one
Yeah,
of us
just
and
reach out.
let us know who you are and make yourself known. Because that's I mean, I'm sure there are companies that may be left out, but like you said, we dug pretty deep to find 128. So if they're left out, they're not that visually. They're not really showing out much on social media.
And if we couldn't find you when
them.
we were actively searching, I mean, it's tough. So
yeah, I mean, we hit up
every towards the end. We were just scrolling through approved bag companies for the leagues and who what name stood out to us, what bag names or company names stood out to us.
I mean, even the underground like Facebook groups with all those like I mean, we were going through all of them. So
we were in the weeds. It was like 3 hours.
Yeah,
this thing
so
together, like trying to put this whole bracket.
We found them.
So other changes. We went from 3 brackets and we're going to 2 brackets. Now, our original plan was to do one massive bracket, 128 teams. But I think probably the biggest change we made this year is that this year we're going to have an interactive bracket that you guys can go. We decided to reach out to Scoreholio, and I want to give a shout out to Ben. Ben helped me set everything up. So we're going to have 2 brackets. The biggest bracket you can do on Scoreholio right now is 64.
Yeah.
So we decided to do an East and a West bracket. Each bracket has 64 teams on it, and we'll post the links after the episodes, and they'll be live. Now, the voting is not going to be done on Scoreholio because that's nearly impossible. The voting is going to be done still, as always, on our Facebook page. We'll have a post up there, and you're either going to love or you're going to wow. Comments do not count. I'm going to say it one more time. Comments do not count. It is either a heart or a wow face. That's it.
Yes. Now I need to clarify something on this little giveaway we're doing.
Yes.
Mike Connell, I agree. Touche.
For sure. Going forward.
I'll honor anything that's in there right now.
Fair enough.
All right. Fair enough. It's okay.
Good. Public service announcement good?
I'm good.
Okay. So I think the addition of having the Scoreholio brackets I think it's going to be cool because no longer do you have to like go to our Facebook page and then look at a picture where you can just go to Scoreholio, which if we're on Cornhole, we're on the
everyone
app
knows what Scoreholio looks like.
Correct. You just go up, you search. So, I mean, if you're watching this right now, I mean, you want to ruin it, you could go see it. But on Scoreholio, you'll be able to search for best of the bags bracket, East and West bracket, and all the matchups will be there. And we'll keep them up to date as we kind of advance through the tournament.
Yeah.
So if you have a question like, hey, who won that matchup? You don't have to go scroll through our timeline and find a matchup that's 40 matches down. Go to Scoreholio, scroll through, and you can watch the bracket unfold right in front of you.
I love it.
This will be cool. So
I'm excited.
So voting as usual on Big Ass page, the daily voting. All right, it's up. Each poll is up for 24 hours. We launch it at 12 o'clock p.m. and it runs to 12 o'clock p.m. the following day. Now, if it's 12:04 or it's 12:06 and I didn't take it down, it is not some giant fucking conspiracy. I promise you that. It is sometimes I have a patient that runs till 12:10 and I just wasn't able to get them out the door. So I promise you.
You are the doctor. Are you tell them you were done?
I will close the brackets as soon as I can. It's not a conspiracy theory. Every year we get these comments, so I promise you it's not. So all right.
I thought you had some kind of power in your office. I guess not.
No.
All right.
8 matchups a day we're going to start with. So it's going to be rapid fire. So make sure if you're voting, there's going to be 8 separate matchups every day that we're going to be posting. That way we can kind of get through the bracket. It doesn't take months and months. And months.
Do you think we're going to go like side to side?
No, I think we'll
just like let one side rip and the other side rip.
Let's let the comments decide.
All right,
fine. Would you guys rather us bounce back and forth, or would you rather complete the entire like East bracket and then go not complete the first one, but like go through the East bracket first round
64
and then switch over, or do you want to go group from East, group from West, group from East, group from West? It doesn't matter to me either way. It's the same thing.
Just let us know.
Yeah, either way. So we'll take a poll in the comments section and see what pops up. But yeah, I think
time to let it rip.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right. So we're going to start off with the East bracket. And this is going to be the upper left quadrant of the East bracket. And these are going to be the first 8 matchups that are going to be dropped. And at the end of the episode, we'll let you know when the voting is going to start going.
Heck yes. All right. So
good.
Here we are.
All right. Sweet. All right. So as you can see, number 1 overall seed this year. I don't think it's a huge surprise, Mike. There really wasn't a debate when we were putting the list together. We all kind of had the same bag down. It was BG Wizard.
I don't think anybody can argue with that, right? They won last year's bracket, and they're probably the most popular bag on the. I mean, and the Wizard includes the Wizard Ale, right? We're including all,
and that's what we
technically includes all BG bags, right?
But it's
going on what Rich said in the comment before when somebody had posted a comment about how much bags were weighing and stuff like that. It basically, I'm just running with the joke at this point. Like, so Wizard L, Wizard, whatever you want to think of it, just it's up there. So it is what it is. But it's unfortunate because somebody always has to play the number 1 seed.
Very true.
Right? There's always going to be a winner and a loser and everything you can. But again, if you're in the 128 of this back group, it means that you did a good enough job that you were noticed and you're on there. So rally the fans and let's take down a Titan this year, man. Let's take down a Titan. There's upsets every single year. Now, do I think Fan Bags Blockade is going to be that bag? I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see.
Hey,
Probably not.
Do you think
Yeah.
what is your guys' feeling? Do you feel like BG is like, did they already reach their pinnacle of hype and popularity, or is it just like they're just maybe just not as loud anymore?
I think they don't sponsor quite as many pros anymore,
It's very true.
but they're still huge in the youth game.
Oh yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
it's just like the hip, cool brand.
Yeah,
That
that doesn't necessarily matter
Still,
in popularity.
It doesn't, especially because
they
we're on
still
Facebook.
sponsor. They still sponsor quite a few pros. Though. I mean, they're still up
They
there
do.
as
It's just
far as
not
the
like
total pros.
it's not like a
It's not-
third of them like they were before.
It's not, but
They-
I think a lot of those companies have everybody's kind of scaled down. So still, I think they're probably one of the top companies as far as the number of pro. And you look at the level of pro players, they sponsor more of the elites than any other company does. I mean, because every weekend you're watching Open, there's a BG sponsored player or team playing for a bracket championship or the final championship.
Yeah.
I mean,
agree.
It almost becomes boring.
Correct. And this is when we're putting these brackets together and we're trying to come up with seeds. There's a few things that like we consider. It's obviously it's overall. This is a popularity contest. We understand that.
Yes.
So we want to put it. It actually looks better if it is in the finals. If it's 1 versus 1, right? Because then at least it shows that we picked the right bags that were the most popular.
Yeah.
Is it gonna happen? It's just not gonna happen. It rarely does. It's always upsets. But I think BG
I hope it doesn't happen.
well deserved.
It is. Yeah. I mean,
Moving on right down.
who else would we have?
So the rest of Mike, me and you were talking about this last night a little bit. If you go through this list, the rest of these 8 bags, like there are some like it might be a toss up for some of these.
100%. I'm already
yeah.
looking at some.
Like,
I
I would-
just don't know the following behind each company.
One of the ones to me that really is interesting is Noble Cornhole versus Octane, because Octane is like they have a decent following in Canada.
Yeah.
So if they get the full backing of the Canadian, which is like 12 of them or something.
Mhm.
But if they get all 12 people to vote at one place, I mean, it could be
They
pretty
could-
wild.
Yeah, they could definitely sneak.
I feel
it.
like John
look
Madden.
like-
'Cause I've got
Wow,
the
look,
television
I
there.
knew it. Yeah, all right, I was just waiting for one of you guys to
Mike,
bust out
I'll let you handle it. All right, you can have the arrows.
I want to be the John Madden. You go,
gonna
boom,
say,
this
can we
guy
get a
goes
John
here,
Madden?
this guy goes here, and boom, you got this guy, and that's what.
much fun. The
That's
one
how
bad
Madden
company
felt, right?
to me that's a huge wild card in this match, in this like little quadrant, it's got to be 724 Bagger Company. Do they still have a little bit of fire? Because like, was it 2-3 years ago? I mean, they were the ones that we were thinking they could probably take down the whole thing.
Yeah.
It definitely seems like the popularity has dipped a little bit. They could be a sneaky team to maybe give BG if they really rally the troops behind it. I don't know if they will or not, but the one to me that I think maybe now looking at the seeds and how everything working out, I think Swag Bags might possibly belong a little higher. They have a pretty popular following, so I think that they should do pretty well. In this.
Yeah, honestly, like even though they're up against BG at some point, I do like their road to get there.
Correct.
I mean,
Yeah,
They're
looking
not
at
good
these
about-
8 matchups, I think you're gonna. I mean, to me, if I was to predict, I think BG and Swag Bags will probably be the 2 that meet.
Yeah.
To come out of this group of 8 or this
agree.
group of 16, I guess it is.
I agree.
But I wouldn't be shocked because, like I said, 724. Wasn't there a year where they had the Anarchy and W&D in the finals in one of these years where they were they were competing? So I mean, it just depends. I feel like they lost a lot of following when they went ACL, and now that they're
100%.
back ACO, are these people coming back to them? I don't know. And then Rebel. You've got Rebel there. You got Siva. There's some companies there that have a following, but are they big enough to knock a BG or a Swag Bags off? I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough because just a lot of these bad companies there will be more regional, and when you go up against a juggernaut like who has national reach everywhere, it is tough. But you never know. It really just depends on like, can you just get a loyal group of people that just share the shit out of the post and they get some votes? So I mean, it's always exciting. I want to see it, but I think just looking at this, BG should probably make it through.
Well, and the thing is
relatively
too is there enough anti BG love? Like people who hate BG, they're going to vote against them just because
That's
they're
not
tired
gonna
of seeing them
happen
win
yet.
everything.
we got to
Yeah,
remember
correct.
how big this is. So
Yeah.
like that's gonna come like
third,
probably
fourth, right?
like
It
Elite
won't come
Eight.
early,
Like, that could
but it
come
may
against
come.
against Swag. Like I could see that being like people were like, I don't want BG to win again. We're gonna go back somebody like Swag. Like I could see that happening.
Well, didn't we design this so it's BG versus Brotherhood at some point?
No, there was
Like,
no tampering.
There's
It
no
was completely
tampering. This is the list as we picked.
Didn't
right?
Rich and Brent play in a match this weekend too? I saw something on a Facebook.
Oh, did
live
they
stream or
really?
something about this too?
Well,
Yeah,
Brent was
there's
on
some- I
here a
saw
little bit.
something
So,
about
Brent, if you're still on, confirm that or not. So, all right, let's go to the next
Confirm or
matchup.
deny. Next
So the-
matchup.
Next matchup. So All right, so this is still we're going to go all the way down through the East bracket for all the matchups. So this is the next little quadrant down. The number one, the top seed in this segment is Titan Bags Dart. So when we did these, like the rankings of originally of kind of like where we wanted the bags to fall, we had originally set it up that we were going to have 8 number 1 seeds. And then when it came down and I saw how Scoreholio set it up, I'm like, okay, we're only going to have 2 of everyone.
Yes.
So like it's going to be a little tough, but so Titan Bag at a 4 seed, to us they were still a number 1 seed when we did it.
Yes.
They're one that to me can definitely rival. It just depends on, I know they're popular, but can they rally the troops this year? I was
That's
a little
my
disappointed by their
question,
performance last year.
Does the following have enough like social media presence to take them across?
I want to say yes. I mean, they sponsor some monster players. Now, if they really, again, I know this is just a popularity contest,
100%.
but it's still bragging right among the bag makers.
Yeah, I mean, everyone that wants to hear that Adam Hissner boom needs to go on and click the heart or laugh or whatever it is and vote for Titan Bags. All right.
Yeah, if you want them to be able to afford and put out
had
commercials
earlier exits than we've predicted the last 2 that we've done.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that they rally this time.
The other one that I'm not sure, I think last year was definitely the year that we were kind of seeing them as a potential, like in quotes, like underdog, but Fly Magic. I don't know, because they lost their primary sponsored player, right? They're not sponsoring Ryan anymore. Like, do they still have as much?
See, I think they have I think they have kind of a youth following too.
They might. That's why I'm interested. I really don't know. I think that they should probably get through the first, round or 2. But will they have enough firepower to really line up against somebody like Titan Dart? There's also some like TCL companies that TCL events we've already talked about are very well attended.
Yes.
And we have some decent TCL representation in here, especially in this bracket. You have Olympus Bags, Kratos, and you have Throwing Stones Minotaur, 2 of arguably the most popular bags in all of TCL. Mm-hmm. Can TCL go on a run like they did a few years ago?
I mean, they definitely could. Yeah, they definitely could because they're following the Kratos each other too.
The Kratos
could upset the Magic by possibly when they. I think you're going to see the Kratos and the Magic meet out of those 8 bags down there, and the Kratos could, if the TCL players get behind them, they could upset Fly Magic. I think.
If I looked at it, I mean, obviously how the bracket's set up, I would think it's going to be Titan versus Throwing Stones, but I don't know enough about the following of Alien and we've known the guy from Haggard forever, right?
Yeah.
Wes. It's just I just don't know if they have enough of a following to really pull it off.
I'm not quite sure,
but historically, WTF and Throwing Stones, although they're very popular, have never really performed as well as I thought they could have.
Again, I think some of that comes down to like the promotion of
100%
of it, on the inside, but. Actually, we forgot for the folks listening to this. Can we just read each matchup down real quick?
Oh yeah,
So all right, so 4 versus 61, Titan Bags Dart versus Stovations Cornhole Relentless. 29 versus 36, Haggard Bags MOA versus B3 Ranger. 20 and 45, Alien Cornhole Quantum against Wasteland Mutation. 13 versus 52, Throwing Stones Minotaur and 157 Bag Company. Phase X. Number 12 versus 53, Olympus Bags Kratos, Average Joe's H1N1. 21 versus 44, Cornhole Coastal Creature against Black Flag Swindle. 28 and 37, Bags Brokers P.
It's a Psycho Circuit.
I fixed it already. Really long. Yeah.
I fixed it already.
37, Gladiator Bags Mayhem. And then 5 versus 60, Fly Magic versus Miggy Boards Savage. Shout out to Miggy Boards. Domingo's cousin, what's up? Haven't met him in person.
For sure.
If I'm looking, that Bag Brothers Psycho Circus and the Gladiator Mayhem is an interesting matchup because normally the ACL bags would have the advantage, but Bag Brothers Psycho, that's also a TCL company as well. And I don't think Gladiators has the following that they've had in the past. So I'm curious to see how that plays. That's an interesting one to see in the first round. Does TCL come and support their companies right there to beat Gladiator and take Bag Brothers to the second round? And then
which is kind of wild because like Gladiator Bags is
2 years ago they were
kind of an anomaly because if you knew the stuff like behind the scenes, like they were actually a very, very successful bag company, like in terms of like sales, but they did so much of their sales of like eBay and like all that kind of stuff. So like they don't have like the social media marketing, but in terms of like overall success, they were doing pretty solid. It just doesn't necessarily translate into contests like this.
Very true.
But
they had Mark Richards, Philip Lopez.
Correct.
They had people
Yeah,
they winning, and then they had Adrian Johnson is amazing on social media. He was from, and
100%.
now he's left them, so they really have no one out there promoting their bags. I wonder, are people still aware that they're making bags, right? Are they still relevant?
I'd be interested to know what happened with that, because wasn't he like part owner of Gladiator, or he had some sort of stake in that company? I thought so too. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm not really sure how all that goes. So, anyways, but I mean, they've always been very good to us. So, shout out to Gladiator Bags.
Yeah, hell yeah.
For sure. All right, let's go to the next one.
Next one.
All right, so you want me to just rifle down?
Rifle down. Yeah,
all right,
go
so
for it.
The number 2 seed, we have Lucky Bags Pro Sniper Elite going against the 63 seed BW Legend. The 31 seed Big Daddy Cornhole Heavy Hitters is going against Bramey's Bags Draco. The 18 seed Goated Bags Bambino is going against the 47 seed Feist Bags Succubus. The 15 seed Flux Cornhole Jade is going against the 50 seed, shout out to Thomas Stranger, Gray Fin Cornhole Hammerhead.
Of course.
Number 10 seed Fire Cornhole Ember is going against the 55 seed Brewer Bags Bamboozle. That's so much fun to say.
Yes,
by
it
the
is.
way. Alliteration at its finest.
And you killed it.
Thank you.
No slip ups.
Number 23 seed Gnarly Bags 11 is going against 42 HL Board Company Rain. We have the 26 seed Corner Graphics Fucked going against the 39 Gator Bags Cold Blooded. And then we have number 7 Reynolds Bag Tantrum going against Old Goats Godfather. Now, there are a few things as I'm reading this down, and they're just jumping out to me. The first thing is, what the fuck is a Reynolds Bags Tantrum?
Yeah.
Mike, have you thrown that or reviewed that yet?
I have reviewed it. That's their new herringbone bag. So I mean, everybody has a herringbone bag, right? And Reynolds actually has, I think, the Renegade and the Tantrum. The Tantrum is their newest, one of their newer bags. So I mean, I think people will be upset that it's not the Pro Advantage or that's in there for Reynolds. But like you said, we had to pick one bag, and I think we just picked the Tantrum because that was their newest bag.
Yeah, and I reached out directly to Randall because they were one of those we were tossing up and we're like, hey, what's your most popular bag right now? And so they told us the Tantrum, so we decided to go with that. But
yeah,
do we think
it's a good bag?
Do we think we overhyped Fire Cornhole at number 10? Like, do they deserve to be that high still?
Probably not. No.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, now looking back on this, like I feel like there's some other
honestly, it was different when we were seeing it.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Then as opposed to seeing it in this bracket now. But again, you got to think this is a 10 seed out of only 64.
Yeah, very true.
So,
but I think remember when we were doing this, like the first 8 like seeds kind of fell in, and then it was just a dart throw for at that point, beyond. So really, Fire got in because of name recognition. We knew Fire, we'd heard of Fire from their previous success they've had. I think that's why they got. I think some of this is just from they've had success in the past. They kind of deserve it.
Like they still have some guys involved. You know what I mean? Like no pun intended or fully intended. But
well, and I mean, you got Kaylee Hunter and Pat Sem throwing them. So I mean, or Pat, what's his name? Seth.
I'm gonna let you do that. You keep going because I'm always the one that butchers it. So I'll let.
I feel bad. I'm not trying. I stumble with his name all the time. I think he goes by Pat though. I think it's actually pronounced Pat.
Perfect.
I'm cool with that. Yeah.
I'm going phonetic though, so
yeah. Well, I'm not trying to butcher that.
I think one of the ones I'm really excited about because I don't think it lived up to the expectations I thought it would last year, but I really liked this bag when we reviewed it. It was the Gator Bags Cold Blooded. Like I think that's a really underrated bag. Like it's a very good hybrid type bag. I'd be really surprised to see how it does against Corner Graphics. Are they pretty popular ACO Corner Graphics?
They're popular to me. I've been aware of them for a while. They've been, I've reviewed a lot of their bags. I look at that matchup, and honestly, to me personally, I would probably go Corner Graphics, but I'm curious to see how it plays out because I don't know popularity wise as far as the top bag companies that the pros and ACO throw. Corner Graphics is not there, but they have a pretty good following. I just don't know how big that following is. But I think the same with Gator Bags. I don't know how big Gator Bags following is either. So it's going to be interesting to see it. That's probably the matchup I look at and go, I don't know who's going to really win that one. I know who I want to win, but I don't know who's actually going to make it through there.
For sure. To the random Big Ask fan that scrolls by that, they're voting for fucked.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I don't know who either one of these are, I might just vote for fucked.
Yeah, I would. It'd be like, that's hilarious.
Corner Graphics has some of the best like designs and names in the business. Like and I love Corner Graphics because nothing's off the limits for them when they design a bag, whatever you want. I mean, they put things on there that you wonder how did they get that on a bag and get that approved. But so they're really a fun bag company. If you like to have bags that stand out, it's Corner Graphics. But the interesting thing is, honestly, their second round matchup is probably going to be against Reynolds. And Reynolds, I mean, I think people kind of overlook Reynolds. I think whoever wins that could upset Reynolds in the second round, really. So that first round matchup between Cornographics and Gator Bags is going to be interesting to see who comes out of that and can they win the second round as well.
I think that this is kind of, I'm looking at this bracket, and this is not a shot at anyone specifically, but I'm like, Lucky Bags Pro Sniper League is just going to kind of just skip through this.
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Probably.
I mean, there's no one here that's going to really touch
Kind of
them.
what I'm thinking. Yeah. I mean,
because
Lucky
Reynolds
Bags
is like,
always just shows up in this tournament, like with huge numbers. So.
yeah. And again, Reynolds Bags, so you have some people that vote, right? I think we have a split population of people who, some people vote, I'm only voting for a bag that I'd like to throw. And other people were like, oh, I'm voting because it's Reynolds and I love Reynolds and I'm going to vote for them.
Yeah.
A lot of people are not going to know what the tantrum is. I have a cornhole podcast, no fucking clue what the bag was. Never heard of it before. Until I thought he was a typo. I thought Bill typed me it was a typo. I really did. I'm like, I'm putting this down. So if it's a typo, I'm
It's
telling
on
you
you.
exactly how it was. So I'll be interested to see. I just don't see there being a whole lot of challenge here. I want to see, like, I really was a huge fan of Goated Bags Bambino.
Yeah.
That was a really, really nice bag when we threw it before. I don't still know how big their following is, but they could sneak and win a match or two. You know what I mean? Just kind of see how it goes.
For me, I agree. Lucky Bags is probably going to make it through. The one area, the one bag that maybe could upset them would be Flux Cornhole, because that's a Texas company. And if the Texas following comes out and supports the Jade, they possibly could. But Lucky tends to have a lot of support in this tournament, right? They tend to do pretty well.
They have a big following.
If they get past the Jade, I don't know if anyone else can challenge them, honestly, because I don't think Lucky's not a company that people hate. I think people like Lucky, and if they don't, they tend to have a favorable opinion of Lucky. So they're not a company like Ultra and BG that has people that love or hate them. So I just don't think they're going to.
Kind of wild because they've gone full
resistance
circle
here.
too. Because Lucky Bags definitely had their issues
for
shipping
sure.
bags
They did,
out early
yes.
on. But I think that once they finally figured it out, like, it's been good. Like, you just don't hear complaints very much. Now, in general, we do not hear the complaints about bags like we did 4 or 5 years ago.
You don't hear them pretty much at all compared to what we used to hear. But with Lucky Bags,
I mean, even with Lucky, their pros are people that like everybody loves Mark Richards. Everybody loves Tony Smith, right? They don't really have controversial pros either. So I think people just in general have a favorable opinion of Lucky Bags.
they're still a bag company. Like, everyone will have their favorite bag company, but they'll still carry a set of Luckies in their bag.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Surefires, you've got Pro Snipers.
You have like your baby blanket that you used to throw, and now you're throwing the derivatives of it. But every once in a while, you're going to go back to that.
I always tend to end up throwing with somebody in a blind draw that wants to throw Pro Snipers.
Yeah.
Which is fine. Like, it's
love
right
Pro
up my
Snipers,
right up my wheelhouse. Fine, by all means, let's do it.
Everywhere you go, you see a set of Pro Snipers at every tournament, I feel like, or Surefires, or both. Yeah.
But it does seem like Pro Sniper Elite maybe has kind of leapfrogged that a little bit. Just again, the hybrid carpet stuff is going crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's other bag companies out here that make really good stuff that I think it's important to shed light on. Like, in the terms of the bracket and the seating, it would be like considered an upset. But like, to me, the HL board company Rain is a really good bag.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think to me, if I was going over which bag I prefer to, I'm voting for that over Gnarly, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's just
And they were former
from our
so.
But we did quite enjoy that one. I remember when we got that one in.
Yeah.
The question with that, like, I agree with you. I think I'd vote for the Rain, but the thing is, Gnarly is ACL, Rain is ACO. That's a good test to see, does the ACO come out and vote here, or is it still going to be ACL dominating in the voting?
It's very true.
Daniel Lambert chiming in, you should be making him throw Power Dragon, Sean. I'm passive, okay? All right. I want my partner to feel comfortable, Dan.
Which, by all means, there's Power Dragons derivatives.
All right, so we got one more little quadrant in the East bracket, I believe.
Yes, we do.
So the other top tier
Heavy hitter over here.
so I think this one's going to be pretty tough.
Dude, this whole when I saw this like picture of this bracket, I was kind of shocked because there's 3 bags here that I think could take this whole little quadrant down.
Well, let's start off at the top. So at the 3 seed, Sub-Zero Wintertide is going against the 62 seed State 31 Dexter. We have the 30 seed Crazy 8 Hibernator going against the 35 seed Alpha Bags Howler Z. The 19 seed, the non-typical bag company Phoenix, going against the 46 seed Cooper Bag Slinger. The 14 seed Bag Brokers Gambler going against the Angry Asian Native. I love that. I just wanted to read it. So the 11 seed, the CBC Ronin, is going against the 54 seed Breaking Records Goat. The 22 seed Gusto Metal is going against the 43 seed Templar Bags Nefarious. The 27 seed Overtime Anvil is going against the 38 seed NFQ Clash. And to round it out for the East bracket, we have the number 6 seed NOLA Bags Mudbug going against the 59 seed Head Trip Bag Exile. I think you look at this and you immediately go top and bottom.
Yeah.
Because NOLA Bags, every single year, they've improved on how far they've gone.
For sure.
And it's just another year removed. Could this be the year that NOLA Bags finally firmly establishes themselves as like, okay, they deserve a higher seed. Like we just keep like, they're always in our, like, we always know where they're at.
Yeah.
But like, we need to stop fucking around. They deserve like a top 2-3 seed.
Dude, we've always respected Billy Webb and everything because he's willing to take chances with fabrics. He puts out a great product, and I think he's finally getting the recognition across the entire ACL now. So yeah, I'm really expecting them to put it in a strong one. They're one of the teams that I thought would take this. Obviously, the other one, Sub-Zero Winter Tide, just a Cinderella story from last year.
Is it okay? Is it truly a like Cinderella story? Because they were, remember, we moved their ranking up a little bit last year.
Yeah, I know, but still,
I don't remember exactly what seed they were, but they weren't like a real super low.
No one thought that they were going to be making that run, especially with 2 bags.
I think the biggest question remains is: does the community do they transfer? Do they stay loyal to Sub-Zero, or did they all shift their loyalty over? I don't know.
That's a great question.
Because she's throwing AAR or all cornhole.
I think it's all cornhole, isn't it?
I think you're right. I think it is all cornhole. So I'll be interested. Now, if he retained that local following and they go nuts again, we all saw what happened. It wasn't bots. It's just the whole Hmong community just came out in droves and almost won the whole freaking contest.
Yeah, it was impressive to see them come.
It was
like, it was unreal.
There are no, so I think it's now we're kind of like this halfway point in the bracket. Like, it's important to say, like, there are no rules in this. We've never said you can't offer giveaways. The only rule we would like is like, don't be an idiot and pay for bots to come vote for you. That's it. Like, besides that, this is a fun thing. Do giveaways, do whatever you want to do. Like, I'm all there for it.
Yeah,
so by all means, it's supposed to be fun. So get your name out there.
This section of the bracket to me it was the one that was most intriguing because I think there are bags here: Sub-Zero Winter Tide, the Bag Brokers Gambler, the CBC Ronin, the NOLA Bags Mudbug are all bags that could go far, and now they've got to battle through this. And the matchup that gets me is right here: the Gusto Metal versus Templar Bagsman Teferius. The Metal is the bag that the Hurt Brothers throw, right? The best team and the best players in the ACO throw that, but I don't see anyone else throw that. So I'm curious to see what kind of support they get here.
Until you said it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. And CBC is probably right now, I think, to me, in my opinion, they've taken over the ACO as the number one company because they really sponsor more of the elite pros. Their bags are winning more of these majors than anyone else. So I think if the ACO is going to come out, I think you're going to see them support the CBC. But I agree, NOLA deserves a lot of love. I mean, Billy does a great job, and he's one of the few companies in the ACL that are innovating. And to me, the Mudbug is probably the right pick here. I love his Rex. So I mean, I think people have to realize too is because each company has one bag, you're voting more so for the company than that bag as well. So remember that if you like,
and we had a long conversation about this when we're setting it up because obviously when we came down, it could have been very easy for us to be like, we can have 100 bag companies and give some of the big dogs, to the ones that we thought.
But to me, it's not fair because they all deserve it.
Correct. So if you're a fan of NOLA but Mudbug's not your favorite, like you can still give them the nod.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
yes.
Again, this is all about promotion of the companies that you love the most. Let's just get it out there and back somebody you love. So
yeah. Now the one that I wanted to throw out there though, Bag Brokers Gambler.
Yeah, they lost some magic last year, man. And
they did, but
we don't see them nearly as much in the TCL anymore.
You never know though.
Yeah.
I feel like the TCL can just come out in droves and there's no other TCL in this little area.
Okay, so let me ask you, if the Bag Brokers Gambler did not face off against the Viper R that year, would they still have gotten as much hype as they did that year? I would argue no.
No, probably not. But again, when iron strikes.
Yeah.
Like
so I'm seeing some comments.
That's a popular bag in the TCL, right? I mean, the Gambler is still one of the more popular bags there.
It is. It is. The first came out though, you saw it everywhere.
It was everywhere.
Like you just couldn't go to a match without seeing it. It was everywhere. But
it's kind of the TCL players have a lot of pride in their leagues. I do think that they're going to support their bag companies as much as possible if they show up. Again, I don't know how much they're going to show up this year, but if the TCL players show up, I think you could see the Gambler. I mean, honestly, because with Sub-Zero being the highest seed here, I like you said, with their best player leaving, do they still have that following support this year, or do you see someone like the Gambler upset them, and move out of this bracket? I mean, this whole bracket really confuses me. I don't know who to pick out of this bracket. Out of these 16 bags, I don't know who to pick.
I think you hit the nail on the head. My only question really is looking at it because, I love the guys from Crazy 8. Alpha Bag's been around for a minute. They're all solid bags. If you made this list, this is a very good. I even love the NFQ bags.
Yeah,
the Clash is a great bag. I don't know enough about CBC, and they could be the dark horse. They
really
could be that team, that bag company that we weren't really considering, and all of a sudden they just kind of make a run. And if they get past NOLA, you never know. It could be crazy. Sub-Zero could show up this year and flop. They could lose a second round matchup just because, hey, we gave them all of our support last year. We're going to go support someone different this year. I don't know. It might, or they might run the table again. We just don't know.
Could fall on the wrong weekend. You don't know.
I saw Dylan in the chat. He's one of the owners of CBC. I don't know if he's still here and watching it live, but I would challenge CBC that if the ACO is going to make a run, CBC needs to go behind this and really push this and bring those players out. Use their pro the pro players they have to support this and really bring the ACO voters in and make a challenge the ACL bags here, because I think this is the year where an ACO team, a company, could win it, but they need to care about it. So I think the challenge is thrown out to the ACO company. I want to see an ACO company make a run in this bracket, but it's going to require the company to get behind this and promote this, not just let the voters just vote.
I would be shocked, just falling off my chair if an ACO company won this.
I think that it's a long shot.
Because they need to be firmly established as being the top dog, not I think they're top dog. If you are for sure top dog, maybe I could see it, but I don't know. Again, because there's so many bad companies in the ACO right now. It was great.
Yeah,
so.
that was the honey hole that we hit at the end.
There's Dylan. We will be pushing Mike. Let's make something special happen.
Let's do it.
There we go.
If they can get behind this and they can push this, I think to me, CBC is the bag in the ACO right now. If I'm thinking ACO, and the Ronin is an incredible bag. If they're willing to promote this and push this is the problem. Is they're in a tough section of bracket where it's going to be tough to come out of this.
Yeah,
but they're also in a section that's a crapshoot.
It is.
You're right. They're not facing the Wizard
in this one, or would you rather be against Lucky?
Yeah, do you want to be against Lucky or BG? No,
stay down here.
It's not a horrible spot to be in.
So challenge accepted, Billy Webb. Let's see it.
Yeah, I'm excited for this one.
Yeah,
okay. Let me. All right. So if it happens, all right. I'm
going to pause the share for a minute.
Crystal ball for a minute. Let's say we get through the bracket and NOLA faces off CBC. So are you going with CBC over NOLA?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one. Because man,
I'll back NOLA for that one. I like that. We can make it a little interesting, do a little wager or something. I know, completely random matchup like that. You know what I mean? Not the finals or anything, but
I'll back the ACO on this. Yeah, sure. I'll go behind CBC. Honestly, I think both companies deserve to go far here. I'm really a huge fan of them. But yeah, if you want to go through NOLA, I'll take CBC on that. We can do something. If they meet, we can do something. We can do some kind of bet together here or something. We can throw something out there.
Or a Mike's Bag shirt, for the next 3-4 episodes or something.
That's fun. Right. Yeah, we'll do something. Well, yeah. I'll wear the big ass shirt on some of my reviews for you. Yeah.
I want to get a little poster right behind there. Maybe I get 2% better every day. You know what I mean?
That's just the milk you're drinking.
Yes, correct. All right. So if you're tuning in, we just recapping the changes that we made. There's not a separate hybrid bag or fast and slow bag bracket. Every bag is in it. It's 128 bags. We split it into an East bracket and a West bracket. We just finished the East bracket.
Yes.
We're going to be moving on to the West bracket. So it's the next group of matchups.
Yeah. So for everyone tuning in now, we are running a live little giveaway here. So it has not been guessed yet. It's a number between 1 and 10,000. Just write your guess in the chat. And if you're the closest, we will be giving you this. And we have the number written on a piece of paper right behind us. It's been sitting there this whole time. So we'll reveal it at the end of the episode and give some bags away. So sexy bags, might I add, by Draggin Bags.
By Draggin Bags.
All right. And with the shameless plugs, on to the next bracket.
Let's do it. So this is going to be the West bracket. I'm pretty excited. Let's see
okay. Moving on.
So the number one overall seed, I don't think is a huge surprise in the West bracket, is the Ultra Viper R.
Dude, but they are going up against the governing body of cornhole,
Okay.
Sean.
All right.
Okay.
So we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that in just a second. All right. So
Sorry, I
let's
can't
go to
hold
the
it in,
matchup
sorry.
real quick for the people that are listening at home. We have the Ultra Viper R going against the 64 seed, the ACA Synergy Edge. The 32 seed Baghdaddy's Carbon is going against the 33 seed IMF Cashin. The 17 seed True Cornhole Tremor is going against the 48 Aliens Cornhole Martian X. The 16 seed Elite BC 1839 is going against the 49 seed 21 Problem Slayer. The 9 seed Killer Bees Armite going against the 56 seed WSSC Baba Yaga. The 24th seed DFB Cornhole Shitstorm is going against the 41 seed Stuff Cornhole Pure. The 25 seed OTT Convict is going against the 40 seed Slingshot Cornhole Execution. And the 8th seed WTF Sierra going against the 57 seed Roswell Bag Plasma.
Plasma.
Boom.
Mm.
Okay, so we're putting Ultra up against a juggernaut, okay? Against the American Cornhole
Right off the rip.
Association's Synergy Edge. It once upon a time was called like the Pro Touring Synergy, but they decided to shift it down a little bit.
I get it
Synergy
because
Edge.
the edge gives you synergy on the bag. I
If-
understand.
If Ultra Cornhole is taken down by the ACA, like I don't even know. Like I might just end the podcast.
I'm kind of here
Be done.
for it though.
So
I'm pulling for them. It's the worst bag I've ever made, but I'm
it would
pulling for them.
be. Todd, it would just be absolute gold for us. Are you
And
serious?
this is not anti-ultra. I just want to see
No,
like
it's not.
like the ACA has a huge following. If they care about this, I mean
I know
maybe
they do.
could, but
It's kinda
it's the worst
scary.
bag ever made. Like
First
that was
time
the
we've
bag that had the
welcomed
tag
it.
attached to it, and it's a horrible bag. It really
Was
is.
made in Taiwan, right? I think that's what
Yeah,
Dad
I mean it's
said.
just it's
yeah.
it's awful, but they promote it like it's the greatest thing ever. So, I mean, if they care, they could probably get their following. That would be interesting to see. And that's a matchup where the one chance where I think a 64 could beat a 1 here. I mean, it's possible.
They just
Long
don't. They
shot.
just run a lot of Facebook ads. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like they're just always up on Facebook. We
But
see the
people
same
buy their
stupid-
stuff. People believe that they are the cornhole people. Like they think they're their governing body because they claim that they are, but they're not. But people believe
When you go
that.
to Google and you type in American Cornhole, and then like they're the first ones that like
Yeah,
pop
yeah.
up. It's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh-oh.
you won that one. So other matchups in this one that I'm not really like. I don't think there's anything that really came through. I think Killer Bees. I'd be always interested to see how much of a following they have that'll translate, because I know people are really a big fan of like the Armite bag.
They didn't have a big following last year though. Like they didn't really come out and support their bag because the Armite is one of the more popular bags on the ACO circuit, and I drafted them last year, and I don't think they did too well. I really don't. And it's a great bag.
Are there anyone here that we see that like is really? I mean, WTF. Like we've always been a fan of WTF bags.
Yeah.
Once upon a time, they sponsored the show. They've never quite had like the big backing and following of this. But looking at this little subsection, I mean, you can make the argument that this is like the best draw that they've ever had.
Hey, you get WTF now with we mentioned Adrian Johnson before.
That's true. All
If
that
he
is
gets
true.
in
Yeah,
on this,
that's
man,
true.
I mean, they could have quite
Yeah,
a
he's got a huge
big
social
old
media
jump in
following.
votes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like they could actually be a surprise in this thing for a change, which I would
So
love to
my-
see. 'Cause
My
they're always
underdog right here is the Dumpster Fire Baggers Cornhole Shitstorm because just because of the
100%.
name. The
Great
name
name.
alone may move that. And the Stuff Cornhole Pure is a great bag and probably is a better bag. I don't know anything about Dumpster Fire Baggers, but that name itself, people are going to
Correct.
vote just for. We picked that bag just because of the name, right? So
it made us laugh.
I will
Yeah,
say
it
Stuff
did.
Cornhole still to this day has some of the best printing.
Yes.
I want to say Stuff
Yes.
Cornhole and Noble. Noble had like some of the best
Yeah,
printing
really-
as well.
really
Like
clean
just
stuff.
phenomenal printing stuff.
it's
so
a tough draw for
Yeah, I don't
Stuff
think
here,
there's
honestly.
I feel bad, Baghdaddies. We love you. It's tough draw. Going in the second round, but listen, maybe you can take
Yeah.
down ACA for that. So
You never know.
yeah, maybe an upset pulls an upset kind of thing. So, all right, move on to the next one.
Next,
Next little subsection straight down. We have the number 4 seed AAR Ripper going against the 61 seed Backyard Bags Lone Ranger. We have the 29 seed X Level KO3 going against the 36 seed Ruthless Bags Company Cocky. The 20 seed 710 Deja Vu going against the 45th seed MN Tailgate Omega. The 13 seed Underworld Cornhole Clones going against the 52 seed Heavy Hands Bag Company. I can't remember which one that was. I don't know why that's not typed out. Do you remember which one it was, Mike?
I don't. I was looking at that. I don't remember
Heavy
which one I
hands?
picked there.
I'll look it up. I'll touch back on it. We have the number 12 seed, Cinder Cornhole Elvis, going against the 53 seed, Blast Cornhole Apex 2. The 21 seed, the Southwest Bagger Company, Hefe, going against the 44 seed, Rampage Cornhole Power Up. The 28 seed, Contraband Cornhole Cash, going against the 37 seed, 2N Cornhole Hybrid. And then the number 5 seed, Draggin Bags Power Dragon, going against the number 60 seed, Wreck-It Sports Ninja.
Number 5 seed, Draggin Bags from Power Dragon.
Power Dragon.
Power Dragon from Draggin Bags.
Hell yeah.
Number 5.
Okay.
Dude, this is a gauntlet.
This is a really tough one. I think you
Lots of
have
big
some
names in here.
AAR Ripper. You have a new sneaky one with Underworld Cornhole Clones, where they're sponsoring some pros this year, and they've kind of been a little bit louder.
Yeah, and then you got Sinner on the TCL side. That's a very popular bag company.
A company I don't think ever gets enough love. It just makes phenomenal bags. The Southwest Bagger Company,
Yes.
the Hefe is
an incredible bag. Yes.
I'll do one side. Like if we get enough people like going on this, and he just sent us new bags.
We did,
showed them to you the other day.
They are gorgeous.
A bag company that I'm excited because we really actually liked their bags a lot.
Yeah.
And again, they're kind of golf themed. The 2N Cornhole Hybrid.
Yes.
Can they pull off the upset and beat Contraband? I don't know how popular Contraband is anymore. I know that they still sponsor at least 2 pros in the league,
Mhm.
right? Is this in Bobby still throwing that?
Yeah, I think so.
I think, yeah, I'm pretty sure. So I'll be interested to see there. I don't know how much of a following they have. Contraband's always done reasonably well. They typically win their first round matchup and then kind of move on. But looking at here, just AAR Ripper is to me the biggest question mark. We gave them, when we were making the overall seeds, we gave them a number 1 seed.
Yeah, we gave them a nod just because of who they're sponsoring, and their sponsored players have a big following.
Yeah,
so
correct. So we figure if they really back it, they could be that seed, that non-number 1 seed that really makes a run and can kind of take down a big dog. You need a lot of fire. They seem to have it. And obviously Draggin Bags just sitting down there.
Fire.
Every year Draggin Bags has been in this contest. They've done a little bit better. I think that they finally have a marketing scheme and a loyal following and a bag that like people are really excited about
For sure.
now.
Yeah.
People love the Power Dragon. I think it should do very well. But again, this is not an easy bracket because Underworld clones are just kind of sitting there, just waiting to upset. Like they want to play this upset game all the time. So
the heavy hands, I think is the banger as we chose there for heavy hands. I looked that up.
Heavy
the banger,
hands,
okay.
banger.
Yeah,
okay.
I'll add that in. Yeah,
but for me, if Draggin Bags Power Dragon doesn't win this, I think it's an upset. And I think the Ripper, like they didn't really show out. AR didn't show out last year. I don't think, if I remember right. They kind of I don't think they really cared. They have the pro players that have if they support this and promote this, they could dominate this bracket, but I don't know if they really care about this. So I don't know. And I think Underworld maybe has a following, but how big is their following, right? Is it big enough to take? I don't know. I look at this and go, I mean, there are a lot of great bags here, but honestly, I think the Draggin Bags doesn't win. It's an upset in this group here.
Yeah,
I agree actually.
They should take down business. So if you're hearing
Contraband, I don't know what they're doing right now. Like at one time they were popular. They've really fallen off. I don't know if they have a following really, or what the following is like. Southwest makes great bags, but I think it's a small group of people that really are aware of them.
Correct.
Center, if the TCL gets behind Center, I think Center's a very popular bag in TCL. That Elvis could go on, and maybe that Elvis is probably the biggest threat to the Draggin Bags if the TCL shows up. I think it's going to be Underworld clones versus Draggin Bags Power Dragon in the finals of this group here. Honestly,
okay. So you don't think AR Ripper's going to show up?
I don't think they didn't show up last year. They didn't seem to really care, and I don't know.
I think it was another year.
I can't see. Now. Like they need Jamie Graham and Jacob Trzynski and Alex Rawls and Derek Holland promoting this, and I don't know if they're going to. If they get behind this, AAR should dominate, but I don't know if they will.
But they're professional players, so like they're just paid to throw bags though.
They should be promoting their company, right? That's what they're paid to do, right? Promote their company, and this is a great way to promote
my point. Is like just because they throw it though, part of the reason they're sponsoring those players is because people want to throw what the best players are throwing, right? So even if like by chance, like they're throwing AR, I like that player, I want to go throw. So maybe just by that over the last year, they've kind of grown in popularity. I don't know. It is kind of up in the air. I'll be interested to kind of see where it falls though.
I wouldn't be surprised. And even 710, like I'm curious to see what following 710 gets. And the problem is they face Underworld. And I think Underworld, because of their their pricing structure where they've gone to the cheaper side. They've got a lot of people that support them for that. But I mean, I'm curious to see how well, because I don't really know. Underworld didn't really have it. Last year, they weren't that as big as they are now. So I'm curious to see what kind of following Underworld brings to this. And I mean, like Heavy Hands is, I love their bags. I've thrown a few of theirs, but that's a tough draw in the first round. So this is interesting because this could be a toss up, honestly. But again, I look at it, Draggin Bags should win this really. And
it's not a great sign when the guy that makes Underworld bags is chiming in saying Underworld has no chance.
I mean, I think Underworld, because again, it's the pricing, right? A lot of people love the fact
100%.
that they're on the cheaper side for an ACL stamp bag. So I think there are plenty of people that will vote for them. And I think they could beat AAR. I just don't think they can beat Draggin Bags. I maybe Center is the one, maybe sleeper that I don't know how to project them because I don't know how the TCL is going to show up for this best of the bags bracket. If they're going to show up,
I was the one that was backing AAR, putting them as number 1 seed. Yeah, I think I kind of talked you guys into it, and it was really just coming down to the point where
it looks different when we had it up in 8. I'm telling you, it's just.
But I think they deserve it though, right? They should be because they are the bag you see thrown a lot.
We know that they have the capability, like you
opens.
said. If those pieces fall into line and their pros promote it and stuff, they're going to be really tough to beat.
So if somebody from AAR is listening to this, bro, let's have some fun. Like this is what it's supposed to be about. So, all right, let's go to the next one. All right, so we have the number 2 seed. Perhaps the one that people have kind of been waiting for. You know, I think it was our number 2. No, it was our number 3 overall seed or 4.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Brotherhood Guardian.
4. It was 4.
Yeah. So we had the Brotherhood Guardian sitting at a 2 seed, going against the 63 seed, the KVLR Bag Company Crosshair. The 31 seed Corn Tricks Cornhole Drop-Ins going against the 34 seed Black Sheep Bagger Costello X. We have the 18 seed Blueprint Cornhole Gamer going against the 47 seed Rocket Cornhole 0 Hour. The 15 seed Logic Cornhole Zinc going against the 50 seed Strive Cornhole Dolphin. We have the 10 seed Burley Bag Supremacy going against the 55 seed Humble Goat Bag Company Shady. The 23 seed Basement Bag Cicadas going against the 42nd seed Lucky's Hybrid. The 26 seed Buffalo Bags Apocalypse X, and the 39 seed the Chicali Bags and Fuego. The 7 seed All Cornhole Game Changer going against the 58 seed Hammer Time Cornhole Battle. So I think right off the rip, we need to address the elephant in the room, the All Cornhole Game Changer. All right, this was a major discussion with us for what bag do we put for All Cornhole, and we just decided
because their new one is the Aura.
If we were only giving a bag company one bag, we should give them a bag that they're most known for.
Yes.
Now we're kind of contradicting ourselves that we didn't go Pro
With
Advantage with Reynolds, but say love you. We gave them the option. They could have said Pro Advantage.
Yeah,
they told us what bag. So All Cornhole, we decided to go Game Changer. It's still the most iconic, the most known bag. Whether or not it's played a lot in competitions anymore, I don't see it around.
I mean, it's the bag that made All Cornhole in my opinion. I mean, took it to the next level, I should say. I mean, they were already very popular, but
correct.
It's just one of those that.
But going through this, I think this might be, besides Brotherhood, to me, that they'll probably run away with this eventually. I think this is the most competitive bracket because I see some matchups in this first round that I don't really know what's going to happen. Like Corn Trips Cornhole.
Yeah.
Can Mike pull off the upset?
Yeah, do they have
Mr. Carwin?
Yeah,
can he pull up the upset? He might. I mean, because Black Sheep Baggers has not exactly had the best rep recently. You know what I mean? Like they've been under the fire a little bit. So maybe Corn Tricks kind of sneaks in and wins it. Logic Cornhole. I mean, all I keep hearing is like that these bags are really good.
I'm expecting big things from Logic because I keep seeing them pop up.
They kind of have that feeling like maybe they can kind of burst out.
Yeah, I'm really thinking that they very well could.
Do they have a hidden group where of like loyal people that can really boost us up? I think they might. Like I don't know.
To get them through a couple of rounds. Yeah, for sure.
I know Burley Bag Supremacy, and every year he's moved up the rankings, and he deserves it because he's got a loyal following. He promotes the shit out of the bags, and if you want to move up your seed, that's how you do it. Yep. You become our boy, and you make great fucking bags. And he deserves to be a 10 seed. I see him making a sneaky run, and people are going to be looking in this in 3 rounds and be like, who's Burley Bags? And guess what? That's the point of this contest.
Exactly.
Is to be like, who is this bag company? Go click on the link and go.
Exactly. 100%. It's all about recognition.
What do we think about Buffalo Bags Apocalypse X? Once upon a time, they were very popular in the ACL, but so they public display of, like we're leaving the ACL and basically like, I won't get into it all because I could go on a rant right now, but like very publicly went away from the ACL, citing a bunch of reasons. Do we think that they're still as popular, or is it more?
That's the wild card for me, because the Apocalypse X is their old Fallout X, which is probably one of their most popular bags. And if they were still ACL and that was the Fallout X, I think they could upset all cornhole. I think they could make a run and maybe challenge Brotherhood. I'm curious to see what kind of following they still have, because I mean, Buffalo still makes great bags. Like, I mean, the reason they left, I mean, they left on their own, right? So there was reasons behind them leaving. I'm just curious to see, did they lose people because they left the ACL and went ACO? Or are people still supporting them? Like the bag quality is still there. They deserve to be there.
If we're following your logic from earlier, though, the stamp bags typically perform better, right? I mean, so I'll be interested. But they've done well in the past in this contest, so I'll be interested to see where
round 2, if Buffalo and all cornhole make it, if Buffalo can beat all cornhole, then that's going to be a telltale sign that they still have that following. And honestly, I think they deserve to go past all cornhole. I just don't know if they will.
Yeah, it's true. Do we think that Brotherhood Guardian, do they have enough behind it this year to win this whole thing? Like, are they popular enough? Like, we see them everywhere, right? Like every young kid on the podiums holding it up. You know what I mean?
They're ones, though, much like Draggin. I know that they're going to be in on this.
Yes.
They're not going to. They don't want to take the chance. Exactly.
You think Brett wants to come to second place to BG again?
So, I really think that they're going to be all over it. And I mean, I think they're going to come out pretty heavy in this.
So for me, so round 1, they faced Kevlar Bag Company, which is a company. It's actually, I actually met the owner of the company last week at my local blind draw. He showed up, gave me some bags to review. He's local to me, and it's tough for me because that's a tough draw. There's no way they're going to beat Brotherhood. Kevlar makes. I've got reviews coming out. Kevlar makes some great bags, but
he's
Brotherhood
going to have a lot of eyes on his matchup, though.
Correct. That's true.
He will. So it's great. It's a great time for him to go out and really promote this, right? But you've got. Exactly. I don't think you have a chance to win, but take advantage of the fact that you're facing a company like Brotherhood. People are looking at that. I think Brotherhood can make a run. The interesting thing for me, honestly, if I look at this, the matchup that stands out to me is the Blueprint Cornhole Gamer against Rocket Bag 0 Hour, because 2 ACO companies, and they're both similar bags, and I wouldn't be shocked to see 0 Hour upset the Blueprint on this.
Oh no, Rocket Cornhole he said all 20 of our followers will be all over this. So I mean, hey,
I'm a huge fan of Rocket.
You never know.
But we're talking about Brotherhood. To me, I think in this group they have, Logic is the one company that maybe could upset them. I don't think they will.
Yeah,
like
I agree.
I mean, I don't know if anybody really can knock Brotherhood off here, if Brotherhood even tries at all to win this.
If their fans
if they try, I think they easily win this out of this group here. I don't think there's anybody there that can compete on their level. With the pros they have, the following they have, they should easily walk through this.
Sometimes companies, like fans of the companies, they fall into this trap of like, I'll vote for when it matters more. You know what I mean? Like, I'll come around in the 3rd round. Well, listen, I'm telling you, it's getting more popular. Wait. There's more it's more spread out this year. If you wait, you might sleep on it. You never know what can happen. So I would like I know where the numbers were last year. I would like to see obviously more votes upcoming this year.
Of course.
If you can get if Brotherhood Guardian the 1st round gets to 500 votes for them, you made me a believer that you could possibly maybe win the whole thing.
Very true. Yeah.
But if I see a 200 and you're just squeaking by because they're going to win anyways, that means you just you're just not taking it seriously. And I don't think you guys have what it takes to win it all.
Ooh, Sean's calling out.
I'm just saying, I would like to see a very dominant performance. And again, not taking anything away from the local guy from you. I'm not calling him out or anything. But I would like to see a dominant performance this 1st round and show us that you deserve to be that number 1 seed. And last year wasn't just a fluke.
Okay.
I mean, we see your bags everywhere, so let's see it on social media. Show up and show
fired. Pew pew. All right.
I want to go on something Sean said earlier about the fact that this is a popularity contest, and I remember like 2-3 years ago, companies were offering bags. You vote for us and we win. We'll give a free set of bags. So people vote for us. if you're a company that's an underdog here, don't be hesitant to make these offers and say, hey, if we win this round, everyone who votes for us goes in a drawing for a free set of bags or something like that. You can bribe people for votes. This is a popularity contest. Do whatever you have to do to win. Like, it doesn't matter. If you can win and go to the next round, that's just more exposure for you. So don't hesitate to not pay for votes, but bribe players to vote for you. Give them something. Put them in a drawing, right? I don't know. You don't pay for votes, but But I mean, if you're Kevlar and you're going to Brotherhood, the only chance you have is to say, "Hey, anybody who votes for us when we win, we'll give away a free set of bags, and we'll do a drawing for everybody who votes for us." Like do something to say, and anybody,
manual labor, whatever you want to give away.
Yeah, and when trying to win this contest, check your shame at the door. All right, do whatever
exactly.
You need
First of all, listen,
take a
Burley Bags has bribed their way to a 10 seed
100%
through these years. Like, he does giveaways every year, but he does well. Like, every year he does a little bit better than I thought he was going to do. So that's why we're like, listen, we got to put him up there. He's got a loyal following. He's all over social media all the time. Makes killer product.
Greatest mini bags maker of all time.
We love you, Mr. Burley Bags.
Hell yeah.
And I would think if you're a bag company and just to go to the second round is worth giving up a free set of bags, because the exposure you get for another round of this, and the eyeballs that you get for people seeing your bag company is worth a free set of bags. So offer that up. I mean, everybody should be offering that up for their matchups.
Just on like across all of our total insights last year, like for page follows, like looking at all the posts and everything, we had over 5 million views on our page last year throughout this contest. Wow. So there's a lot of eyes going on these pages. So like, just go, like, you know what I mean? It's almost like get out there and just promote it.
It's like almost driven to this thing. It could be so big. So I love it. So do it. Bring it on. We got one last
it's the best time of the year.
One last little nugget.
Can I just say I've done I don't want to jinx myself, but like I've only made like one mistake.
I know. Do you want me to finish it out or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
I was kind of good. All right. So the number 3 seed, we have the Cornhole Scenario Copycat going against the 62 seed, the BP Bags Cataclysm. The 30 seed TNT Looter going against the 35 seed All Out Bags Zombie Killer. The 19 seed MX Cornhole Meltdown going against the 46 seed Man Bags D10. I love that. Man Bags. The 14 seed Apex Cornhole Summit going against the 51 seed, the Angry Panda Bag Company Chucky. The 11 seed Big D Bags Maryland. And then the 54 seed going against the 54 seed Dead Nuts Carbon. The 22nd seed Mother Shuckers 313 going against the 43 seed High Roller Bag Company Pit Boss. The 27 seed Pitch Bags Pound going against the 38 seed Magnum Bags Orca. And to round it out the last matchup, we got Kill Shots Wolverine at the 6th seed going against the 59 seed Element Cornhole Nitrogen.
Nice.
So,
congratulations.
Yep. Thanks, man.
So you made it through.
Kill Shots is in the tournament again. So yay. So we can move on from that. I think one of the biggest, to me, I've wanted to see forever. We know that I think they're starting to get popular again, Cornhole Scenario. And I think part of the reason is like they're just getting bags out the door a little bit faster. Yeah. So there's just more out in the world. I'll be very interested. I'm trying to look down the list of who do I think can really take them down and give them a shot. Like, I don't really see a whole lot of competition. Maybe MX Cornhole. They have a decent following that they're growing. They're pretty active on social media.
Yeah, I think Big D Bags out of the ACO.
Okay, here's the thing. They are ACO company, but it seems like Big D has really gone very regional.
Yes.
Like just like home stuff. Now, I don't know if you see his bags all over ACO. I'm just not sure. But so I know he's not in TCL anymore. So
you see him more regionally. But here's the thing. For me, if I'm going best bag in this group, it's the Big D Maryland. Like if it's just playability, that's the bag I'm going. I don't know. And I've been promoting his bags. Like I've been a huge fan of him. That Maryland is one of my favorite bags. A lot of people who follow my content have followed that. I think if he cares about this, maybe he can get enough interest to get people to, because he's even though he's out of the TCL, he still has support in the TCL. And now he's ACO. Maybe he can combine the two votes and possibly get the people to vote for him. Because I honestly, I don't think. I mean, maybe the Cornhole Scenario Copycat is the one that's. I mean, they're the highest seed, but honestly, there's no like dominant bag here that says this is the bag that's gonna be tough to beat.
No, it is kind of open. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Kill Shots always does well in this tournament. Like they always go, 3-4 rounds, and they're just a tough out because they're still popular in their area, and they've always done very well social media wise. Cornhole Scenario, again, they always run the risk of they're going to do well for a few rounds until they get too far, and then the haters come out. And
Mhm.
it doesn't matter who they're playing; they're always going to get votes against them.
Yeah.
So I just don't think that they're big enough to ever win the whole contest. But could they win this quadrant? I think it would be a pretty decent matchup against them and Kill Shots, or maybe if Big D can pull it all together and pull an upset over Kill Shots.
And I know, I mean,
All
Kill
there for
Shots they've been growing in popularity again. So I mean, we'll see. But I just want to give one shout out to
Please.
the bag company that we stumbled across in this, which was Angry Panda Bag.
Yes, the Chucky.
Dude, great prints, and they were awesome looking bags. So if you've never checked them out, I'm gonna give them a shout out right now. Go check them out. They're actually pretty sweet. Plus an awesome bag name.
Well, I want to shout out their counterpart. The one that they're going against, their opponent, the Apex Cornell Summit, was a bag that I threw in the TCL like a year and a half ago, and it was when it was still like a prototype.
Yeah.
And I threw it so well that I'm like, you need to put this fucking bag in my hand. Like, I need this bag. Well, we finally got the set of bags we're going to be reviewing on the show.
Hey-o.
We do bag reviews every once in a while still, so we are going to be reviewing that bag. But it's a very solid bag.
They have a TCL following, so
I'm telling you, if you're looking for a TCL bag company that's like not everyone has heard of, Apex might be the one that can kind of sneak in there, and because they have a very loyal following and they're growing and they've done.
And he makes
well.
a great product.
He does,
Like
yeah.
really takes
Shout out
some
to
time with
Dylan.
those. And then
So
the
if we're
good
doing-
old Motherfucker, man, still there.
Yeah, and we've had the 313 is like from I think almost every bracket,
They're
maybe
like
not
one of the
first
last,
one.
one of the last of the Mohicans, man. They've been around for
Yeah, there's not
a long
many.
time.
If we're doing shout outs, I'm going to do one real quick, and that's Man Bags, the D10. Man Bags is a company that I've kind of recently come across and reviewed some of their bags,
yeah.
and they're a smaller company that makes great bags. I don't know if they can beat MX. I don't know if they can, but I love the fact that they're here. They've got some exposure. I think if you haven't thrown Man Bags, like go check them out. Like that's a company I would give a shout out to. This is an interesting like bracket because again we've talked about this. Like there's no company stand like any one of these companies could walk out of this and I wouldn't be shocked honestly.
Magnum Bags could come out of nowhere and take this thing down. You never know.
I mean, mother chuckers, like you talked about, they still have a huge following where they are. So I wouldn't be shocked to see them walk. Kill Shots and Cornell Scenario have a lot of haters, and I think that's gonna. I don't think either one of those are gonna make it out of this bracket. I don't know who will,
but I don't know if any of these
two.
guys have enough non-haters to take them out. But it all depends because you could just catch
No,
a
I'm
random
getting
vote.
Man Bags all in the comment section over here. So I'm saying if you guys are loud in the comment section, you better show up for voting and better share these posts because you're gonna have to pull something out.
The problem is you mentioned it, Dane. Angry Panda. I love the name Chucky. That's
love the
a great
name.
bag name. Great company name. Like if people don't know, they're just going to vote off names, and they've done a great job naming the company and naming the bag. That they may just get the votes off that alone. But
for sure,
it's a tough first round. This is another bracket. I'm interested to see what happens here. Really am.
Yeah, it's going to be a crapshoot. I love it. All right, I mean that's so that pretty much wraps it up, folks. I mean. What's the launch day for this bad boy, Sean?
So we're gonna launch this on Monday.
On Monday.
So we're gonna do a whole bunch of promotion today. Yep. So we'll post the that way it'll give companies time to promote.
Yeah.
Get their fans ready. We'll be posting the links on Squirrel. I'll make a post right out either tomorrow night or tomorrow morning or tonight. I'll post the links up to the Squirrelio bracket. But they are live on Squirrelio right now. So if you go under bracket. If you go and you search best of the bags bracket, the East and West should pop up. Now, it is linked in Ohio. So we did find that out yesterday when we were searching. If it doesn't come up, if you type in best of the bags not coming up, just go under location and just make sure you just kind of turn that off. It'll come up. Or just put the location as Ohio and it pops up right away. You'll see the East and West bracket. You can follow along as we're doing it. Just to clarify, I saw a few questions there before. The voting is going to be the same as it has always been. We're not trying to confuse it even more. The Squirrelio brackets are just an interactive way that you guys can go and check it out.
Yeah, you can pull it up and see the results right there. Correct. It'll be easy.
But the voting is still going to be done. 8 brackets or 8 matchups a day are going to be listed right on our page. And you'll go to each individual one. You'll either heart or you'll wow the post. And then whoever has the most after 24 hours wins. And we kind of move right on.
And I think from the chat, people want you to bounce.
Yeah, I know.
Go
go
back and forth. So yeah, we'll just shift east then west, go right down the gambit.
Yep.
Get them all knocked out. Now, while we still have some viewers, if you have not submitted a number yet, we're doing a giveaway for a set of bags.
And we're not done yet.
These gorgeous sets of bags here.
Yeah.
All right. So it is a number between 1 and 10,000. Just put it down. The closest number wins them. What was that?
Has anybody picked the number yet? I don't think
nobody's picked the number yet.
No, I would keep it. Yeah,
nobody's picked it. I've been checking the comments right here. I have them right up next to me. So.
If you're watching and you have a question or a topic or anything you want us to cover, just go ahead and shoot it out there. We'll take a look at this. But I had a random question that I was driving home from karaoke.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did. And I'm like, hey Siri, open note, like just type it, right? Like I knew it was gonna be gone. It was
Okay,
just one of
yeah.
those floating thoughts. Do you realize when you stop being cool? Like theoretically, like we were all like in quotes, like cool at some point in our life, right? Or we thought we were cool. Like, do you realize when the moment happens when you're not cool anymore? Or is it like someone has to tell you that like you're not cool
Hey,
anymore?
You're not cool. See, I think there's different levels of coolness
Okay.
as you get older.
Continue.
So
I like to hear this.
I think as long as you stay in that curve, like it's like a bell curve, I think you're like,
Okay.
honestly, I think you have the potential to be your coolest in like your late 30s, early 40s.
Why?
Because that's when you finally have the money to be able to do the coolest of shit, and your body still hasn't started failing you yet. So then like you're right at the precipice of it, and then like it's just gonna start teetering down. But as long as you ride that curve down and stay in that realm, you can just be cool for all your life.
Michael Crow makes a good point. He says, yeah, as soon as none of the pop music sounds familiar. I mean, I've been there for a while. Like I've never been like,
But I've always been an
to
old
the-
soul with music anyways. So like I was listening to stuff long before my birth, like my whole
I know,
life, so.
I know I'm not old right now. Like I get like in the grand scheme of things, I'm still relatively young. But when I was at karaoke, I felt so fucking old.
Oh,
Like
yeah, when you
looking
look
around with a
around-
young wedding party walked
Yeah.
in, I'm like, Jesus Christ! Like, how old are you?
Oh,
guys?
is this prom?
And I'm like, I'm
homecoming?
fucking 38. Like, goddamn. When my cousin was turning 40, I'm like, goddamn, like you're old as shit. And she's like, you're next. I'm like, don't say that out loud.
You're next.
Like, can we just stop claiming years? Like, is that allowed? Like, can I just like I like 38. Like, I'll say 38. It's a nice
Suspended
round number.
animation, and no, we can't.
Oh,
Can't
it
do
kind
that.
of sucks.
I'm
yeah,
not cool.
so-
I can't add to this conversation at all. So I'm cool with this.
Neither am I. I just figured like at one time I used to think
Hey,
that
your
was
poster behind you says differently. Mine said is everything.
It's
You
true,
just
but,
think
but
you're
ask
cool?
my kids.
You're
They'll tell you I'm not cool.
So, I mean, we'll open it up to the chat too. If you guys have any random questions you want to throw out there,
sure.
feel free. Just rattle
All right.
them off.
Mike, I want to know if you had to compare your cornhole game to a fast food item. What are you comparing your What are you comparing your cornhole game to?
Ooh.
I'm comparing. I would say onion rings. If they're done right, they're great, but it's hard to find good ones. So there's
such a
it's hit or
good
miss, right? Right. So
Yeah,
you
for
can
sure.
you can get great ones and you can get bad ones, and the bad ones you're going to pay for it for the next few days, right? But the good
Fair
ones you're
enough.
going to keep going back to it time and time again. That's my game. Is when I'm on, but when I'm off, I'm horrible. So I'm like
so
I'm hit or miss, right?
what kind of onion ring do you like? Like, what's a good onion ring for you?
Oh man,
Like, are you a beer battered guy? Like, are you like?
To me, I want a crispy out. I want that crispy outside, but I hate when you bite into it and the whole onion comes out. I want to bite into it and get it, and so I need the onion needs to be enough that it's not soggy, that you can bite
Yeah.
through it and you have onion every. I hate when you bite, your first bite gets all the onion and it's nothing but batter after that. And I think with onion rings too, the dipping sauce matters. You got to have a good dipping sauce. Without that, the onion
Amen,
ring sucks.
brother.
What's a good,
Preach.
what do you go? What's your like go to like dipping sauce? You want something with a little spice to it, or
I like a little bit of kick to it. Not a lot. I want a kick,
I'm
but
with you.
it's got to have it's got to because I mean, onion ring is not. There's not a lot of flavor to the onion, and so I want a little bit of a bite to that. Like
you
I
ever
don't.
tried onion rings with cane sauce?
Yeah, I do. For raisin, I'm not a fan of Raising Cane's. I think their cane sauce is good.
Mhm.
The rest of the Raising Cane's not so great in my opinion. It's probably an
I'll
unpopular
say it is
opinion,
a
but-
little. I'll listen. We're gonna take some heat here. All right, so this is gonna be. I will say I think it's a little overrated. Like, and I think part of it is like my wife has been on like a Cane's kick. I swear, like I had to ask her, I'm like, are you pregnant or something?
I
Like,
know
that's
what
like
I'm.
weird.
I know what I'm getting when I get Canes. That's why it
Yes.
never disappoints, but it never
It's
surpasses.
not my favorite. It's not my favorite. So I do agree with you. Like there's like I'd rather give me Chick-fil-A any day
Yeah.
of the week over Cane's. Like
Yes.
personally, but, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, all right, what's your food item if you're comparing? Now I'll let you go either cornhole or golf, whatever one you want to pick.
I'll go cornhole.
Okay.
And I'm gonna do Arby's curly fry.
Okay.
All right, because every once in a while, much like Mike, you know, it's the perfect one. Lots of curls, everything's working for me.
Yeah.
And there's other ones where it's just a little straight at the end and it, you know, tail off at the end. Then every once in a while, there's the regular fucking like crinkle cut French fry, and you're like, what the fuck was that? Like, so that's my answer.
Fair enough. Yeah. Do you guys? So we had a question in the post. Do you guys think the ACL is going in the right direction? I don't know.
Do we want to go controversial on this or?
Well, so here's my question. Is like I don't know what the ACL has officially announced, but if you're a Patreon member, you already kind of know this stuff. But the ACL has announced some changes upcoming, and perhaps one of the biggest ones is that if you are like a retail seller of ACL products. You're not like a bag maker, but like your white label stuff,
Yeah.
you're now allowed to sell unstamped bags as well. You can't sell like competing leagues bags, but you can at least sell unstamped stuff. And then they also are getting rid of the board stamp qualifications or requirements for local league directors. That I believe has to be the best move for them. We were talking about this a lot last night. It's a little bit like the ACL now is they made this rule that came out like we're going to do this board stamp thing and this is what it is. And then they got a whole bunch of backlash. And then they went back like, all right, we're hearing the criticism. Let's take a step back, reanalyze it. What are they mad about? All right, let's just get rid of the stamp. And then they're announcing this. And then I think they're like, hey, we got rid of this. Like, aren't we great?
Yeah.
Well, you guys fucking caused the problem in the first place. If this was this, you should have never done in the first place. So don't all of a sudden like look for all this like credit because you guys are so great. You're getting rid of the stamp now. Like you should have never fucked with it.
Yeah.
If you want to make your like regional directors and state directors have to do a board stamp thing, fine. But if you want, you're just killing yourselves at the local level. And I've been saying it for a few weeks now. I think it's too late. ACL stands for like competitive cornhole. Like if you give a shit about trying to get good at it and you want to compete at like a relatively high level, that's what the ACL has been around for.
They need to stay out of the, like you said, they need to get out of the local area.
It's a shit about local points anymore.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't fucking matter.
Not when you can go get your jollies on a random Tuesday night blind draw at like 10 different bars in your area now. So to me, it's like the best thing that they could do is kind of pull back and shrink everything down to just being what it's intended to be, which is pro cornhole.
Not when I can just open up Scoreholio and type in cornhole and just see what's in my area.
Exactly.
And then I'm gonna have 30 tournaments.
And then your tournaments turn into the qualifiers to become a pro cornhole player. So only those ones that are really thinking that they have the sauce of their ones going.
Yeah.
Then.
So I agree with Sean on the fact that my thought is this is the right step in the right direction. The problem is that the ACL took 5 steps backwards, and now we're taking 1 step forward. So they created the problem, and I don't know if they're geniuses because they went 6 months ago and said we're going to create board stamps, we're going to be the bad guys, and now we're going to go ahead and make it look like we're the good guys because we're fixing the problem, or if they're just idiots because they didn't realize how stupid the idea was of board stamps in the first place. I don't know to give them credit or not to give them credit, but they create the problem. They're trying to fix it, but they didn't fix it enough. Like we're not back to where we were. The problem is no one, like the ACO is not stepping up to take advantage of this. So there's no one there to say the ACL screwing up. We're going to step in and take advantage. So if no one's stepping in their place, then the ACL can do what they want. So, I mean, the ACO has got to say, hey, let's take advantage of this. Let's go out and encourage these local leagues to go ACO and not ACL and increase the numbers. Because the ACO's problem is they don't have enough people playing their events. If they can increase the numbers up, they could compete with the ACL, but they're not doing it.
When you have 30 majors, they don't see them as major.
That's the problem.
Really
Like,
why am I going to
shouldn't be a
travel
major
every weekend when
true.
there's 5 that are closer to me? I'm just going to hit those.
It is kind of true.
Yeah.
I think the ACL means well with what they're doing. I wish that the people who made the decisions, I don't know if they still play in their events. Like, I don't know how active they are in playing and they're running it. And I feel like sometimes they make these decisions and not realizing the impact it has on the local directors, the local players, especially the new players. The new players are the growth of the sport. And I don't know if the ACL is really helping the new players to bring them in. They're making it so hard to come to the ACL.
Well, I think it made it pretty evident that wasn't their focus in first. Like their first and foremost effort was like, we're going to establish a pro league. Like we want to be the premier governing body of professional cornhole like in the world. And I think they've pretty much kind of established that. I was excited when I saw a commercial on Thursday night football with ACO. I'm like, okay, they're doing something.
Yeah.
Right. They're moving the step direction. But then like I feel like you lost any momentum that you had. Like I really didn't see a whole lot of promotion on it. Like, and it's a big deal.
100%.
It is. It's a big deal. Like
I remember texting you being like, dude, you just see that commercial?
Yeah, it was
like,
super cool.
Yeah, it was awesome to see.
So yeah, I do agree though. Like you wish almost like because good competition's good, right? Like we're all going to benefit from it.
Yeah.
They might not like it, but like for us, like it'd be great. So
absolutely.
I want there to be as many people playing this game as possible. And I just don't know if there's going to be enough people to keep caring about this year to ever get as big as we want it to. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I think it can be. But I think you're right. We need competition. We need. I don't think either league. I mean, because the ACL is the two big leagues, right? I mean, you got the TCL, but they're so regional. I don't know if either one is doing enough to grow where it needs to be. Because I look at pickleball, look at disc golf, like that's the path that the cornhole could take. But they're like so far behind. I don't know what they need to do to get there. But I wonder if the ACL is really more focused about let's become the pro league and let the ACO be the amateur league. And it feels like that's kind of where they're heading. But then the letter they put out, they talk about growing at the grassroots level, which is not pro. That's the amateur side. So I don't know where the ACL, where their focus is and what they're trying to do. I just feel like
I was told that the ACL is supposed to have some like public meeting forum type thing. They said it was gonna be public, where they're gonna announce like their kind of like changing of the thought process, where their new emphasis is going to be going towards the grassroots. My question is, just getting rid of a board stamp's not really enough. Now, I'll give credit where credit's due. At least, if nothing else, at least the ACL seems to be pretty consistent about hearing the complaints, back, analyzing, and then adjusting. Right? They've pivoted on a bunch of stuff throughout the year, so you give them some credit.
Where is the step before making the decisions? To tell you
agree.
that that's just a dumb idea to begin with.
Yeah, it just seems like they're very like they just don't have a finger on the pulse of what the normal, and I think that's kind of the point you're getting to.
Yeah.
They're not playing in like their local stuff, you know what I mean? Or if they are, they're playing out people that like just like die, like, you know, blowhards for ACL, like that's all they care about. Where I just want to see
every
like,
company needs that employee that will step up and say this is a dumb idea. And I don't know if the ACL has that. Yeah, but I mean, I do think I've worked for these corporate companies. I hate working for them. That's why I work for a smaller business, because in these corporate companies, everybody wants to promote themselves. Like, what can I do to make myself get to the next level? So sometimes it's just being the yes man, agreeing with everything that goes on instead of being the guy that says this is a dumb idea. And I feel like the ACL is missing that. I don't know. Like someone in the very beginning should have said the board stamp is a dumb idea. Why are we doing this? Like you can have the boards need to meet this standard, right? They need to be this. This is the minimum for a board to play an ACL event. That's fine. But a board stamp is a dumb idea, especially at the local level. The fact that it got passed the first time doesn't make sense to me. And now they're shocked that like local directors are not saying we're not going to do it because we can't afford it. And now they're making the change is weird to me. Like I feel like this should have never gotten to this point. And somebody should have said, this is stupid. Like, you guys are idiots for doing this. And I don't know if the ACL has that person that's willing to tell them that, right? Or listen to the people that are saying that.
Well, and I think that's a valid point too. Yeah. Like maybe they do have someone in that building, but maybe that person's just kind of falling on deaf ears. And you know, at times like, where the big decision should be made, like I think that's definitely a point. Angel Rodriguez is saying, stop making players pay $500 to be elite. Listen, I think that because you guys paid it the first time, guess what? Like, you're kind of, you guys fucked yourselves. Like, you know what I mean? So many of you guys signed up for it, and next year
$500 more to be a pro. Come on now.
I'll be interested to see what happens next year when we cut down the pro field from 2 whatever, to 100. When it gets down to 100, what are all those extra people are going to do? Are they going to go sign up to play elite so they can continue, or are they going to do what some of these other pros are, either going to ACO or just drop down to advanced and then just run shit?
Yeah,
that's my biggest fear in the ACL is when they cut down the pro field, this new crop of like former pros going to advanced and then ruining everyone else's time. And then what's going to happen is everyone's going to start bumping themselves down because they're afraid of competition. And before we know, we're going to see the competitive division averaging a fucking 10. And I'm like, do I belong in like backyard division? Like, where are we at?
Yes.
So that's my biggest concern about them cutting the pro field. I think that there should be some sort of limitation. Like if you've qualified to be a pro again, when you go to these open tournaments, you have to play in like the elite division or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I know it's probably unpopular among the pros, like saying that, but if you don't want that to be an issue, then just requalify.
Exactly.
Be a top 100.
Be a top 100.
So here's my question to you guys. Then let me throw this out there. And something I threw out previously is, I've wondered, can you make more money by being an ACL advanced player and playing ACO majors and ACL opens? Because if you go elite, you have to sign that contract. You can't play an ACO. ACO has a major almost every weekend. So when the ACL is not playing ACO, you go play a major. And if you're good enough to be a pro in the ACL, you should be placing in the top of the ACO in most major events. So you're cashing out ACO majors, you're cashing out ACL advance. Wouldn't that be more profitable? And you've got a bag sponsor on the ACL side, a bag sponsor on the ACO side. You're double dipping there, and you don't have the contract with the ACL. So wouldn't that be more if you're not a top 15, top 20 ACL pro, wouldn't that be a more lucrative route to take?
100%.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're a second tier ACL pro, why wouldn't you go and just say, I'm going to be advanced ACL and be an ACL, and you can be an ACO pro and be an ACL advanced player at the same time. And you could even play TCL, right? If you're in that area, you could do double or triple dip and all that, and not have to do a contract. I feel like the ACL is pushing out. If you're not at the elite level, you're kind of being pushed out of the pro side. And I don't know if that's the right move to make. Because if I'm the ACL, I'm not scared of the ACO. I want my ACL pros going and dominate the ACO and make the ACO say you can't come play with us, and show the ACO that I'm the better league. So why is the ACL scared of the ACO?
It's
because the ACO has touted themselves as another like national organization. So the ACL's like kind of their business practice is like, we're just going to pretend like they don't even exist. Like we're going to acknowledge that, but we're not going to let our players play over there because they're not even worth your time. Like that's basically kind of like how the ACL is
really how I see it. Yeah.
I mean, obviously there's some bad blood between Stacy, you know what I mean? It's just, it is what it is, but I don't know.
It's really hard for me to think of like cornhole able to make money. Because like I've never been able to do that in my life, so I'm like,
chat, what's that like?
Yeah, it's really like describing the scenario for ACL pros.
You have 2 trophies right up there.
That's true.
All right, from like 5 years ago.
Neither one of them brought
How much
home
did you
money.
make off those?
I won trophies, so
Can you sell those on eBay for anything? What are they worth?
Probably could. Yeah,
personalized. Just change the character on top. You know what I mean? Like a Happy Gilmore. Can I take that weird golfer off the top? Put a hockey guy,
put a little hockey guy on it.
But honestly, I would think if I'm the ACL, you want your pros to make as much money as they can because you want your pros to be only pros. If they're only pros with the ACO, they can spend more time promoting the league and doing stuff and they can go to more opens, right? Like the Albuquerque Open was bad because there weren't as many pros there, but a lot of those pros have other jobs. They can't travel there. So why not let them go play in the ACO majors and win money? You know, and then they can afford to do cornhole full time. Like I just don't know why the ACL is so scared to let their pros go. Because I mean, I think we all agree the ACL pros, for the most part, are better. I mean, there are some elite players on the ACO side that can compete in the ACL, but when you get to the top 20, the ACL dominates, right? There's a handful of
100%.
ACO guys that can compete, but the depth is not there. An ACL pro should be able to be pretty dominant in the ACO. Let them go and make the ACO say you can't play and make the ACO the bad guys. Like, why is the ACL the bad guys in this?
Correct.
It's smart. I would love that.
Right. There's that old saying, you know what I mean? Like, what is it? Like, the wolves aren't afraid of the opinion of sheep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't care. You know what I mean? Like, you have already kind of established yourself. But, I mean, I don't always like making it like ACL versus ACO because, like, I think there's a world where both leagues can exist 100%. But again, like, I think it has to be where ACL is going to be like the professional league. And for those that are trying to attain like the highest possible level that you can in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not that's the most lucrative business model for like them to make. And that's like, they need the average player, right? Like they need like us going, they need guys that like have not won shit in like 6 years since playing and they're just donating money to the prize pool.
Yeah.
Like we're the real MVPs. And don't forget
the average guy is the one that funds the pros, right? We're the ones that put into the prize pool that pay them out. We're no threat to win our money back. We're just donating our money every time we go there. So they need those players, but I don't know if the ACL is catering to us to bring them there.
I think that the ACL should look up all the people that have never won a tournament, right? That have donated money over like the last 4 or 5 years, and we should each get like a brick in the fucking hallway of the headquarters or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like in memory of like, you know, one time he could maybe throw like, you know what I mean? And put like my embarrassing PPR like right underneath it. Like that's why, like the Hall of Losers or something.
I mean,
right there.
You'd be all
Actually,
over it.
I want the spot outlined where they kicked us out in the headquarters. You know what I mean? Like I want just like a random fucking stone, just like kind of placed there. Like here lies big ass game.
Yep. And then never came back.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So okay, just reminding people. So this bracket, we're gonna launch this on Monday. So the first votes are gonna go out on Monday afternoon at 12. 8 brackets a day. I will post the links to the score holios. You can check out the whole bracket in case you guys forget. There's East and West, 8 matchups a day. Standard format. So
standard forms.
We're pretty fun. So
we have to reveal our big number too.
We do have to reveal the big number.
Can we just say comments don't count in the vote, please? Just one time. Comments don't count.
Yes.
Reactions
comments
count.
Do
That's
not
it.
count.
Reactions
only.
But we'll see. All right, who are we liking for the Super Bowl, by the way?
Do we have to say anyone?
Listen,
Is there a way that both teams can lose?
I gotta go. I'm trying to just embrace as much as I can that at least I don't mind watching I'm just trying to admire greatness, and I would like to see us maybe seeing a three-peat once in my life would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the three-peat and then just be done with them. I don't want to hear
fall
about
off
the
a fucking
Chiefs
cliff after that. Yeah,
ever
correct.
again. Andy Reid go retire.
Yeah, correct.
Patrick Mahomes retire.
Yeah,
What
right.
else can you do?
Yeah, correct. Yeah,
yeah. I don't know. Like it's just I'm tired of hearing it.
Yes.
So let's just get it out of the way. Because then when you say four-peat, it's like, why is there even an NFL anymore? Like, so let's just get the three-peat done, move on to the next.
For sure.
For me, I hate Philly, so I can't vote for Philly. So it's got to be KC. As much as I think I do want to see greatness, though. I do like to see great players. You know, even though as much as I dislike Tom Brady, it's amazing to be the one to say I grew up and I watched Patrick Mahomes play. I was there when he did what he did. And so I'm okay seeing the Chiefs win again. I just can't. I don't want to see Jalen Hurts come out and throw for 80 yards and they win the Super Bowl. I just can't do that. I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, unless Saquon rushes for 350 yards or whatever, then okay, maybe. But I can't root for Philly.
I mean,
I told a coworker the only way the Eagles win is if you have Saquon over 150 and Jalen Hurts over 100 rushing. That's the only way.
Yeah. Yeah, because Hurts is not going to throw for more than 200 yards. It's going to be
not against their
150, 118.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They don't want him to throw against that defense. I'd be scared too.
I know somebody asked if we how many of live like broadcasts have we done before?
Yeah,
first one ever.
This is first time
ever in 5 years.
Yeah.
First time. We've gone live before, like on like corn dogs and stuff like that. But on our page, it's the first time we've ever gone live for an episode. So.
So it's
so give me your thoughts. Like just comment if you guys liked it. So normal episode. So this is still going to be uploaded on Spotify. At the end of the episode, we talked about this in the beginning. We interviewed two super interesting guys who run the Mediocre Golf Association.
Yes.
And if you are a golf fan at all, like, oh my Lord, like it's right up your alley. Like,
really cool.
We can't wait to go. We're going to get a bunch of more. You'll hear about it as the coming weeks.
Tons of chapters. So give them a look, no matter where you're at.
Practicing to do. Like it's like a legit tournament.
It's a legit tournament. So check out the chapters if you're interested in golf. They're all over the country. There's like 98 chapters or something like that across the nation. So check them out. I'm sure they're in your city. And I mean, it sounded like an absolute blast. So I'm very excited.
Planning on following up with them after we attend their first, like one of their first events. So
yeah, it's dude.
We're
gonna get messed up. It's gonna be great.
So thank you so much to everyone that kind of tuned in tonight. This was awesome. Mike, thank you very much for all your help putting this bracket together. This was awesome. Your wealth of knowledge, man, it was much needed on this bracket. So thank you very much.
Thanks for having me. I love this. I've loved this contest you guys have done. I think it's great. I think it's a great exposure for these small bag companies. It just brings a lot of recognition to the cornhole world. So this is I'm honored to be part of this. I love it.
And if you're following this stream right now, it means that you like cornhole and you're a cornhole bag nerd like us. If you're not following Mike on YouTube and Facebook, you're doing yourself a disservice. So make sure you go to Mike's Bags on YouTube. It's a great follow. I watch all your videos. It's kind of what keeps me up to date on what's the new stuff coming up. And
yes.
Just, I mean, and they're great to the point, and you do an awesome job. And I know how much work goes into it. So tip of the cap to you, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I love it. I love the sport of cornhole. I love doing this. I mean, I want to see the sport grow. I want to see the sport take off. So I'm all for doing what I can to promote it. So I appreciate this.
Yeah. And I do know that there was an open this weekend.
Yeah.
I know this week is a little bit weird because of all the best of the back bracket. We are going to recap the open next week, but I do want to give a shout out in the comments. Shout out to Zach Aiken for winning this weekend.
Hell yeah.
Singles. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Another dude. It's actually, I hate seeing it, man.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just never going to play ever again. Like, I'm just like, if you're not 12 years old, like, just give up. If you're new to the game, you're not going to be a pro. Just give up your dreams because there's some 13-year-old assassin that's coming up through the ranks. It's going to get a full ride scholarship and throw a beanbag for. Just jealous.
Isn't it amazing to see someone like Zach Aiken, like to come around and win? And this is his first open win, I believe. And you see these. I call them kids, so they're kids. You see these kids do what they do, and like you just like I'm excited for the future of cornhole. If we can stick around long enough to see these kids get to be in their late 20s, are they? And like, what's the sport going to be like when you have these kids and the new teenagers coming along? Like, it's just going to get better and better every year. I'm excited for the sport of cornhole.
I think a good rule of thumb is if they're closer to my kids' age than mine, that they're kids.
Yeah.
It's the way I'm going with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
for sure.
Like,
actually, since we're all friends here, I heard a really good comparison from pool to cornhole, because like somebody was talking about, like, do you ever fear that cornhole is going to become like everyone's too good?
Okay.
As in, like, nobody ever makes a bag and stuff.
Yeah.
But like we're starting to see that evolution now with a lot more blocking, rolling, stuff like that. And yeah, people are getting really, really good. Pool was the same way for a while. It was kind of getting to a point where they're like, well, God, everyone's just so good. How is it ever going to change up? And then lo and behold, people just find ways to make it hard for other people to do what they're good at.
Yeah.
And that's what like this game is quickly turning into. And
I'm still not convinced that we're not like 50 years from now. I'm still not convinced that the game is going to look the same. I think that either they're going to extend the line back professionally, or it's going to be some sort of rule where like your first bag cannot go in the hole.
I know,
some variation of that.
You keep saying that.
I'm going to keep throwing it
out
there,
there too.
I know. I want to
first bag block.
We might just have to do a tournament where that is like that.
I think it would be awesome.
And there's also so randomly somebody messaged us on Facebook today, and they were trying to register for the best of the bags bracket, which is super funny. And I had to explain to him like, no, this is like a voting contest. He's like, oh, I thought this was like you sign up for the contest, you get a bag, and that's the bag you throw it for the tournament. That would be fucking awesome.
That would be phenomenal.
You got 64 people, and like you show up to the tournament and like 64 teams, and you pull a name out of the hat, whatever bag that you're throwing for the day. Like I'm here for that. Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to see. That would be
so.
Awesome.
Shout out to the ACO and their Worlds. They do it. It's the Tailgater series, and you get a team and you draw a bag company. You get that bag. You throw that bag, a random bag company for that tournament.
Awesome.
It's like that's a great thing because you get players who are throwing bags they don't normally throw, and so it's kind of fun to watch them throw different types of bags and stuff. So it's exciting. And I would say too, we're talking about cornhole. Isn't it great to see like you see a Zach Aiken win, and then you go see like a Damon Dennis win, like you've got both ends of the spectrum, and they can both compete. And then you got a Cheyenne Bubenheim go out there, and so it does it like it's not a physical challenge. Like it doesn't matter. Like everybody can throw a bag 27 feet. It's how good are you in that at that moment in that tournament? Are you on your game, and can be consistent throughout that tournament? And I think that's what's great about cornhole is that it's not a talent. Talent is involved, but it's not a physical thing that anybody at any age, any gender can compete at the same level. And I think that's what makes cornhole great. And I think in some ways that's what keeps us all coming back is I can throw a 4-bagger. So there's always a hope that I go out that tournament and I can win that. I mean, maybe I have zero chance, but in my mind, I threw a 4-bagger once. I can do it every single round, or I hit that airmail drag once. I can do it in the next round. And I think that's what keeps us coming back. And I hope I'm fearful that analytics gets in the way and we all start worried about PPR and DPR and SPR and all that stuff. And we get away from the fact that it's just fun to go throw bags and play a tournament, win or lose. You're out there playing for fun. You're out there with your buddies. You're trash talking. Like, I could care less what my stats are. I want to just go throw and have a good time in that game. And I think if we can figure out a way to keep that in the game along with the pro side, I think the game will grow. I just don't know.
I agree.
I don't want to, we got to keep a balance here, right? You got to have the pro and the money side, but you also got to have the social side of it. Like that's important. Right. I mean, there's nothing I love more than going to my local league or going, like sometimes we go to a cul-de-sac and we play it in front of a guy's house on the sidewalk and it's all about, it's king of the hill, right? The one, you just partner with somebody, you go up there, the team that wins stays up there and you keep playing until you beat them. And it's nothing but everything. There's no rules. It's trash talking. It's, you're out there, we're drinking, you miss the board, you take a shot, right? It's all about fun. It's not so much about stats. And that's what
we did at my neighborhood block party.
Yeah.
We did the same thing, like king of the court kind of thing, like where if you won the match, you stay on and just next challenger's up and you just run your mouth the whole time. And we've been drinking for 4 or 5 hours and it just gets real chirpy. And then eventually my wife has to wander over and she's like, we have guests here, like maybe like tone it down a little bit. I'm like, I'm not losing this fucking asshole over here. Like, all right, so just let's.
I love trash talk. I love if I can trash talk you and get in your head. I'm doing it definitely.
I don't see you as a chirper. You seem too nice.
No. You
got competitive side.
I'm nice but you get me drinking and I'm playing cornhole. I will chirp and if I hit a shot, you're gonna know it, and I'm gonna let you know I hit it, and from that point forward, I'm gonna tell you I hit that, and I'm gonna expect to hit that from that point forward. So I'm that type of player where if I know it bothers you, I will keep doing it. I will keep doing it the moment I know it happens because I love the mental side of the game, and that's what I want. I want to. The problem is like you go to a tournament like an ACL Open or whatever, you can't do that. People get pissed off if you do that, and so I that's why I don't play a lot of those tournaments. I love the trash talk, and I want you to talk back to me, right? That if you start trash talking to me, that just motivates me to do better. I want that. So like I think that's what we need more in this game is, and I wish we could mic pros up, and I wish pros would like. I love a Jeremiah Ellis. I love a Jacob Tristan. I love a Jordan Power.
Yeah.
I want that in corner. I want a Cody Anderson. Like those are the people I love to watch, and that's what cornhole needs. Put those people on ESPN. That's what we need to grow the sport, really.
So, one random question, just to kind of wrap it up. Daniel Lambert said, "What would be the equivalent in cornhole to a hole-in-one in golf?" I don't know if we really have one, because some people were saying like maybe a perfect game in like round limited. I know that's been done, so maybe that would be the best answer, like in the 12 round.
No, I think it's more. It's got to be bigger than that. I think we need to do. I would say maybe like perfect airmail clip.
But think about it, like
or
when
something
people
like they're like
rounds, people don't throw like 120 deck rounds all the time.
yeah.
It's so hard, you know what I mean? Like so I think 12 rounds going perfect, and all 12 and averaging.
But
a
you
12.
can golf for 50 years and never even sniff a hole in one.
I'm never going to throw 12 perfect rounds in cornhole.
Yeah.
So I'm never going
But
to.
here's the thing, though. Like you can have a pro player that never hits a hole in one. You can have an amateur that does, right? So it's got to be something that
That's true.
an unskilled player
That is
can
true,
do,
that
right?
anyone can do it. That's a very good point.
Yeah. You know, so it's got to be. But I don't know if cornhole has that, right? Because again, the
Yeah, I don't
sport
know
is
if
not.
they do either.
There's nothing that hard. Like anybody can do anything. Like at this point,
I mean, for me, it's like if I hit a roll bag, like that's
true.
like that's the equivalent in my mind.
I call that a happy accident.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't even know how I.
if I hit a roll bag, it's by
repeat
mistake. If I
it
hit
for
hole
the
in one,
next
it's by
3
mistake as
hours.
well, right? So it's the same thing, I guess.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was. The last time I played a blind draw, I threw a bag and it rolled, and I did not mean it to. And my partner's like, he's like, just, and he like went, did the like, he's like, just roll the next one over. I'm like, I don't know what I did the
okay.
first time, so like, you don't want me to do that.
Can you show me how real quick?
I don't know.
I think he said it right. The 3-bag drag, right? If you have 3 bags hanging, you throw that 4th bag and you take all 4 bags in one bag. Maybe that's because that's a thing you don't like. It's got to be set up perfectly, so it's got to be a par 3, right? Everything's got to be set up. It doesn't happen very like you don't have that many opportunities to do it, and even when you do, you still got to hit the shot. Maybe that's the all 4 bags in one throw.
True.
Maybe
That could be.
Keith is a pretty smart guy. He's pretty good looking too.
He is. He's from a great area.
He is. He is.
okay.
He
Maybe
might
I
be
should have
actually.
voted
He
him
might
up.
be listening right outside
Yeah,
our
he
window
might be
right now.
peeping.
He lives in our neighborhood, so
Sorry, it's glass block. He can't see us.
for sure.
You got
All right,
an
well, I'm gonna
insider.
keep-
I
I will
didn't realize he
literally-
was part of you guys. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I will literally just keep answering questions, so we should
Yes.
probably end this at some point. But Mike, again, thank you very much for joining us. This has been fun. We're going to keep collaborating as we kind of go through this and talking about it. But thank you for everyone that tuned in. I think the high point we saw was 56. And Dane, are you ready for the? So here's for the best of the bags break giveaway. Can you do me a favor? Can you type in the comments like end right now? So like,
Yeah.
there's no more guesses after this, so I know where the end went.
So did anybody
No.
pick the number, or are we going to go closest to?
No, I didn't
Yeah,
see.
we
I didn't
gotta-
see it. Now there was a chance that we missed it, but I did not see it.
There we
So
go.
Dane's going to reveal. You want to hold it right up to the camera, and the winning number
It's between 1 and 10,000. We decided as a group.
we did yesterday.
I don't even think you. It's just number 1, guys.
Number 1.
It's number 1. Come on, people. Come on.
It was in the video the whole time, guys. You didn't see it.
Yeah, it's sitting there. We had it in plain sight.
We're gonna get him to sign for next live stream. It's gonna be 2%.
See, I know somebody
That's
put
right.
it down
I'll change the
in
sign
there,
for next
so
time.
I think that's the one that took it.
Okay, so I'll go through it tomorrow, and I'll contact the person that was closest to one, and then I'll shout them out and send them the bags.
Hey, hell yeah! I mean, you can also reach out
to.
to Dan too. He said, "Whoever wins, I'll send you the other collab bag."
Oh well, geez. Well, that
Look
was
at that!
easy.
Hey,
Wow.
now you get 2 for 1.
I mean,
Heyo.
I wasn't gonna send them just one. Like there are all 4 here, but that'd be great. I'll let you know. I'll let you know. So, all right, well, folks, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the interview. If you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify, wherever you listen to, yeah. So Monday brackets are gonna launch. Next Wednesday we'll be back with more audio gold as always. And yeah, I think that's it.
That's
Pretty
it.
good. Like we actually did well. Like no make mistakes and stuff.
Hey, I'm here.
Wow, look at us
Look at
going.
that.
It only took 5 years to find
Professional.
We
Hell
look
yeah.
like
All right.
pros, don't we?
Hey, every once in a while, everyone, and we all have like nice back. This is very well.
Yeah.
Like, good
If
job.
only
High
they
five.
knew the real truth.
I know.
Yeah.
5 minutes
Yesterday
before we're going live, I'm like, God damn it.
It's working.
The scramble beforehand.
For sure. Now, as soon as we turn this off, we'll go right back to it. All right, so we'll end the live stream now. Michael, have you hang out just for a minute. But as always, we hope you throw it straight, and it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Sean and Dane are with you as always. What's going on, man?
You know, just a Sunday night with some great guests here. So I'm
I think
actually pretty
future
pumped
new
about
friends.
this one. Yes,
For sure.
already can put a pin in that because yes, we became best friends pretty much instantly already.
So we're not just sitting here alone in the basement tonight. All right, with us today are 2 of our new friends. from the Mediocre Golf Association, Mr. John Corley and Willie Dills. What's going on, guys?
Wait. Morley.
Dude, no, hold
John.
on. That's right. That's correct.
No,
that
that is
has
right.
to be
That's-
correct.
If you're a cornhole podcast, everything starts with C.
Correct.
Yes, that's how it goes.
Wait, did I not?
It's Morley.
Never heard of that
Morley.
before, by the way.
Okay.
John. Starting
John Morley.
something with the
Hey,
same
there's
letter.
a very famous cornhole player named Jay Corley,
No.
so maybe he just
It
intermixed them.
100%. That's
Oh, yeah,
100% what I did.
Yep.
Yes.
Dude, John,
Yes.
you are John Corley from
now on, yes. On this show, you're from-
no,
yes,
what
correct.
just happened?
Yeah.
I can't believe it. So first of all, welcome to the
Nice be
show.
here. Nice to be here. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah.
John Lucky Kick Corley, dude. Let's go.
So this came about. So I think I was on like Facebook or something, and like we've been so into golf recently. My whole timeline is just golf content, and I came across a random picture of a guy standing there holding a check, and I zoomed in, and the winning amount was like for like $1.35, but he had a shit-eating grin on him.
Oh shit, he won a big tournament.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so I'm like, what is this? So again, and it happened to be from the Mediocre Golf Association. It was like, I think the Cleveland chapter. So I clicked on their page and just kind of poured into like your guys' website, checking it out. And so I got to get the backstory. Like, how long has this been going on? Like, how did you guys get started? Just kind of give us a rundown.
Go
Well,
ahead, John.
I actually just sent out the email to our San Francisco members. We're both in San Francisco. That's
Okay.
where it was started. And I just sent out the email telling them, let's start getting ready for this season, and counted it on my fingers. Had to count it again because this is our 20th season
Holy
in
shit.
San
Man.
Francisco doing.
Damn. Okay.
And yeah, it just started out here as a joke. Me and Willie were playing a bunch of golf, started joking around, and wanted to play some competitive tournaments. There wasn't anything that appealing out there. So we said, screw it, and organized our own. And then just, the joke started flowing. As you saw on the website, everything's pretty tongue in cheek.
I love it.
So it's,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy once you start riffing off existing things. And we did it just in San Francisco for a couple of years. And then this is how old we are now. We had a MySpace.
Wow.
Up in Seattle.
Our original
Yeah.
website was myspace.com
Tip of the cap.
/ the real MGA, because we thought
Did you guys have a pretty sweet page?
it was
yeah.
so sweet.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
We had,
but
don't want to
like,
brag.
Nowadays everybody optimizes their search results.
Yes.
The real MGA. Nobody knew what the hell that was or what we were doing, but we were just posting stuff we thought was funny. But like John said, it was a joke, and then
other people got the joke.
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
other people thought it was funny too. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go.
So how quickly did you guys start to expand then?
So
It was-
2006 is the first official. That's when we say that we started.
Okay.
But me and John were playing maybe 2 years before that,
Okay.
just as homies, just
Okay.
playing golf.
Well, yeah, 06
Don-
was the first Bastards.
But
tournament.
2006 was the first tournament,
Yeah.
which was one tournament with 4 players, 4 rounds, 72 holes,
Nice. That's great.
because that's what you have to do.
yeah, of
young and
course.
single at the time.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
we
I
had
was going to say
nothing else
very
to do.
correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it was one day a weekend for 4 weekends straight. John ended up winning that tournament. It
did.
pains me to say, because I was in the lead after the second weekend, but he stormed back and he won that thing with a putt on the 72nd hole. And then I think that's when John really went, oh hell yeah, I get to win at stuff. Let's start a whole league about this.
And if you win the first one, like you're set for life. Like you don't ever have
Yeah,
bragging
yeah.
rights forever.
John's a legend.
Well-
Yeah, he's a legend. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
we
our
did
Tiger Woods.
Oh wow.
but we
Oh, I didn't
have the big
realize.
check.
So
Well,
sorry.
That
no,
time.
actually, no. John, you're not our Tiger Woods. You are our Jack Nicklaus.
Yeah, I would say like
Okay.
picture wise.
Because our Tiger Woods is Todd. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Can I be Arnold Palmer? I'd rather be Arnold Palmer.
Oh, okay. All right. All right.
If
Ben
you want,
Hogan's
yeah.
still there for the
Thank
taking too.
Right.
All right. What was the question?
Well,
What did you guys
No,
expand?
let's just like talk about how it then became a thing where there was the Todd Benoit. You know?
Well, yeah. So yeah, 2009, we set up, we had 3 other chapters outside of San Francisco. So obviously, especially with one of them being in Canada, we had to do a world
So how did that come about?
We have had
There's
some
debates
early
about
members.
this.
Okay.
Yeah, we had some early members who were in a successful punk band from the 90s,
No shit.
80s even.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
and the singer
They're no
tweeted
longer
about it.
successful, by the way. They actually don't even exist. So
That's sad.
Well,
That means they're a
they
true
just played
punk
their
rock
last
then.
show like 2 months ago.
It
40 years.
means they're true punk rock. They're good.
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
But anyway, he tweeted about us, and that was, I think, all the original chapters. Well, no,
Yeah.
some of the originals ones
Well,
came from
Seattle
that. So that
and
was
Quebec. Seattle and Quebec, which is exactly what you would expect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was really a slow burn from there. So 2009 was 4 chapters. 2010 was like 8 chapters. And I mean, just every year, just a couple more.
That's
more.
crazy.
And then last year, we were up to 98 chapters and 3,500 members.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
So, and
But
that,
it
it's just
really has
bigger
built
each year.
It's built based on only just people talking about it.
Yeah.
And hopefully not talking about it too much. And we're kind of doing something a little sketchy here by coming on a podcast and talking about it, because one of our main tenets is, we don't talk about it unless we know you're cool. So
Well, until the 10th hole.
Till the
Yeah.
10th.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
you got to wait 9 holes, and then on the 10th hole, you're allowed to tell the random person you got paired up
Make sure
with.
that they pick up at least 3 beers at the turn.
Well, yeah, you just
know?
make sure they're not,
Yeah.
Things like
they're
that.
not a dick. They're not an asshole. Yeah.
There's ways to figure
He
it out.
doesn't take 37 practice swings. He's not that
Like
guy.
sometimes after the first hole, you think the other guy's really cool, right?
Yeah.
Then 5 holes later, he breaks his club over his knee and screams and yells. And you're like, whoa, hold on, man. What the hell?
And that's when you're thankful you didn't tell him about the MGA.
Yeah.
Or he's 230 yards out and he's waiting for them to get off the green
He's
when
waiting,
he hasn't
yeah.
hit a shot 160 yards all fucking day. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, and I'm like,
But no, so it was word of mouth. Word of mouth is the main thing here.
why? Can I ask
Really
why?
trying
Why
to
is
keep
that?
it chill. Yeah.
Why did you guys not? Is it just so it's controlled growth, or
Yeah.
Well,
It's
okay, John, go. Yeah.
well, I mean, it's sort of controlled growth. I mean, it basically from the beginning, it was never built to be a big business. It was like, all right, somebody else wants to do it. Okay, here's the model that will cover the costs and bring in a little bit of money for our time.
Yeah.
So, the first 7 years, as it's growing, it's still growing. It's not really making any money. It's not losing money. It's making a little bit of money, but not worth. So there was never an easy crossover point to just say screw it, going all in. I mean, I still,
We're a capitalist business
things.
now. Yeah.
So, and then also because of what Willie was saying, to some degree, everyone is still sort of vetted before they come in because they hear about it from someone else.
okay?
And you just know that people really get it before they sign up. And yeah, it just, I don't know. I like the natural slow growth of it. Makes it feel a lot more solid.
So, if you were to go to what makes your events stand out? Obviously, the people that are going are cool, right? You vetted them, the environment is going to be good. Is it do you guys run is it a handicap system at all? How do you is it?
Yes, that's very important. The handicap system is very important, and that has been vetted too.
Okay.
Over.
Do you guys require a certain golf
point,
index or anything?
And it has been proven to work.
Okay.
We use the USGA scoring system.
Okay.
Or at least their rules.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then our version is there are no. If to be a 35 handicap doesn't mean you are earned a bunch of strokes.
Okay.
But if you're good, then you are penalized.
Okay. Fair enough.
And you bring us all back to what mediocre is,
Correct.
which is what me and John started this the whole time. Mediocre golfers should win, not good golfers and not bad golfers.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And the ideal
Yeah.
mediocre golfer is a bogey golfer. in
Correct.
our book.
There you go.
So,
Yeah.
so 18 is the line in the sand. If you're worse than 18, whatever you shoot that day is your score. If you're better
Yeah.
than 18, so like
Then fuck you.
Yeah. Say I'm a 13 handicap.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get 5 penalty strokes added onto my score to make me an 18, right? So like,
So when me and John
get what you're
started playing
saying.
together
Okay.
a lot, we both talked about this, and we were like, "Who came up with this par? Who decided that when it's a 400-yard, hole, that par should be 4?
Right? Amen,
Yeah.
brother.
Whoever that guy was."
Yeah, and
Fuck
I'm
that
not
guy.
playing.
Like, that
I'm
guy
not
sucks.
playing
Yeah,
up on the
yeah.
tees either.
Yeah.
All
Me
right.
and John, we got together. We were like, you know what we should do? That should be 5. And there you go. And that was
Okay.
the genesis.
Exactly.
right
All
I,
right,
I
so
like that.
So that's a.
I mean, I'm trying to think. I would be.
or a
no, that's
sorry, a
that's
mar.
Mar.
I have
Yeah,
I have
so-
an official I have an official handicap right now.
Yeah, so do I. I was an
Okay.
8
Well, I would
last
love to
year.
hear
What-
your-
I was 9 point.
Yeah,
I was a
I love
9.1.
Ooh.
Whoa! Oh shit!
Ooh.
Yeah, I
Penalize
was.
this man.
I was an
Yeah.
8 flat. So
Oh
I-
God! All right, so
Penalize
you guys,
both of you.
yeah, you guys are in
Jeez.
trouble. 'Cause
But okay,
You
so
guys are
here's
not
my
good.
here's my thing is like if we go, even if I'm penalized, like I'm not going there to if I win, awesome. Like I'm looking for like one of the things in cornhole right now that's popular is like everyone always thinks that they're owed money when they go to these events. Like when they go and play, like that they're trying to compete for money. If again, I've said if winning a $50 like tournament means something to you, like go reevaluate your life. Maybe you shouldn't be playing in the first place. So like I don't necessarily care about winning, so penalized, but it are like the vibes still like would I still have
Well,
fun
we took
even if
money
I'm
right out. We
Oh,
just
yeah, I
took
love that.
money.
yes.
We said no money. No, you pay us money.
Yeah,
And
correct.
yeah, and then we're gonna put on a great tournament that you guys are all gonna
And then
have a
fun.
blast
Yeah,
at.
money equals fun. Yeah.
So
Yes.
yeah, I think what stands getting back to what you asked earlier, what stands out about our tournaments
Yeah.
is that everyone is there with hopefully just the right level of competitiveness, like you just described. They want to win. They're there to compete. It's not going to break their heart if they don't win.
Yeah.
They accept the handicap system that we've come up with, and it's a very
Which is
simple.
perfect.
Yeah, it's simple. It's straightforward, and like Willie said, this is 20 years now of refining it.
Perfect.
And everyone's just there for a good time, and there's the humors involved in it as well to help be like really make sure people understand, like, listen, we're here to have a good time.
Yeah, correct.
So I mean, can
We're
you
competing.
tell the names to all the listeners of your guys' tournaments, like because they're comedic gold?
Well,
Yeah.
some of them, yeah, some of them are. Some
Yeah,
of them
let's-
are afterthoughts.
After
Okay, well, our first tournament of the year,
Let's start at the beginning.
the
yeah.
first tournament of the year. By the
What's
way,
going on right
now,
Yeah.
today, John, did I tell you that I played at the indoor golf place today
Yes,
with
but
Bobby
that's
G?
not what they. Yeah, that's not what they.
is that
I
what,
know,
did you go
I
to like an
haven't
X
talked- I
golf or
haven't talked to you about
something?
this. Dude, it's so fun.
Yeah,
Okay,
love
we
it.
gotta do a tournament. Okay, anyway.
Okay, so the first tournament.
So the Rebel. So right now, the Pebble Beach Pro Am is going on,
Okay, yes.
and in fact, Rory McIlroy won.
We
it,
did. Mm-hmm. Blazing on the
by
back.
playing really good at golf. Right?
Yes, it's
We all
sickening.
love to watch it. So that matches pros with amateurs, right?
Yes.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So for the MGA, we were like, let's cut out the pros. So we have the Rebel Beach Am where we match amateurs up with other amateurs.
Oh yeah.
And that's our first tournament of the year, and it really goes well. And I think, John, you can attest to this. The first tournament starts as a team event, but also an individual winner. It just kind of sets the tone.
For
Yeah,
sure.
So guys show up in matching outfits for that one again.
Hell yeah.
Sort of setting the vibe of the tournament. Some of them are ridiculous. Like and
We hope. We
fantastic.
encourage. Yeah.
We had some new guys come in a couple of years ago to our chapter, which again has been going on forever. And these guys came in. They didn't know anybody, but they knew the first tournament was a team event, and that team dress was encouraged. And they showed up full on Cheech and Chong.
Fuck yes.
Which is like,
Hell
oh my
yeah.
god, are you kidding
Hell
me
yeah.
right now? Best new members ever.
Now,
Yeah.
like, so I know, like, obviously, it's fun, right? You want the mediocre golfers to win. Is this still like a serious tournament in regards to like you're
so
playing
serious.
as the ball like lies? You know what I mean? Like
Exactly,
like
yeah,
a legit
yeah.
tournament. It just happens to have fun. You know what I mean?
It's
Exactly.
very
Okay.
serious,
Okay.
John. John, it's very serious, and John knows. We've been going through how serious it is for some of these people.
Yeah.
Or are you? I'm sure you guys have some like rules officials out there that are just like, because if you can't be good at hitting a ball, you might as well know all the rules, right?
We want everyone to understand the rules and play by them.
Of course.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's USGA rules. I mean, you count every shot, and that's where we get a lot of people who come in
Correct.
and they put in their scores. We only ask for 5 scores to start to get
Okay.
your MGA handicap, and then of course it evens itself out as you play more. But some people think they're a lot better than they are. Suddenly they have to putt out everything.
Correct. Yeah, and and honestly, that's the big thing, and that's why this past year I was just interested to see where I'd never actually done it before. Ball in the hole. Let's just kind of see where we're at.
Play by the rules.
Correct.
It really will. It'll take you back to 0 on your life. You're like, man, I thought I was like pretty good at golf.
So how often do you guys get to
Counting
play?
all the things you're supposed to? If it goes out of bounds, go back, or now the new whatever. Take a stroke, all of that. Don't lift clean in place when it doesn't.
Correct.
Yeah.
No
You will
mulligans.
suddenly
Yeah.
realize that. Oh, and also finish every putt.
Correct.
You miss a lot of those
Oh.
4-footers
Hell yeah.
that you're
Yeah.
picking up. Yeah. And so this is one of the things with me and John is like when we started doing this, we're like, real golf. Let's all accept it. What we really are here. And also let's just like play everything out.
For sure.
See who really won.
Yeah,
And
no, I like
that's,
that.
You know, that's what makes obviously the results of the tournament matter, right?
Hell
Like,
yeah.
We
Yeah.
feel like having the handicap system as it is, and then everyone playing by the rules,
Actual
not-
golf.
the actual golf, and my favorite things. One of my favorite things is when guys have been members for like 7, 8, 9, 10 years, and they finally get their first win because they've always been like they started out maybe a 25 handicap, and then they worked their way down to like an 18, and they finally get their first win, and you'd think they just won the Masters when really they won the Bastards, but
Hell yeah.
it's the same to them, and
That's-
it's the coolest thing.
And I know at least I was checking out the Cleveland chapter because we definitely are going to check out an event
Oh,
this
Yeah,
year.
by the way, you guys are actually in Cleveland.
Yes,
Yes.
we're just outside of Cleveland. Yes,
You got to join the chapter.
we
Yes,
are. That's what we're.
100%.
Yeah, so I
Okay,
said
good, thank you.
we tried reaching out to them
Jared,
first.
Yahtzee.
Yes,
He is one of the best chapter leaders in the entire thing.
It looks like it's one of the largest
man.
chapters.
so I'm hoping you guys can help me get in
really
contact with
want
him
you
after
guys to
this.
hang out with him.
Yeah, so I want we
Very
definitely are going to go to an event, but I was checking out the courses because I wanted to see. All right, if we're going to pay to join an organization, right, do this and go and take our time, and like I have 2 young kids at home.
$40,
For me to
not
get
that big.
6 hours out of the house is like
Yeah.
crazy. So I've learned to embrace 9 holes, but I want to get involved in doing this again. So I was just checking out the courses. The courses you guys are playing, at least in our area, are really like nice courses. Is that pretty standard for across all the chapters? You guys are playing like nicer courses in the area?
Nah.
And that's
No?
up to
Okay.
the chapter leader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Good news for you. That's Yahtzee.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I was checking out the courses. I'm like, oh shit, I'm
he's
gonna go
at-
to these tournaments just because I want to play on this.
Well,
on
he's
these
definitely got
courses.
an in with like the Cleveland City, like the Metro Parks courses,
Yeah, for
because that's
sure.
like those are all the best courses around here. So
Yeah, it's nice. I was
I'm
impressed.
going to give
Nice.
John the floor here because I think this is
Well,
the thing
it's-
a lot of people go through.
I mean, we don't know what courses all the different chapters play, but like I for sure for years was keeping us on shittier muni courses, just trying to keep things cheap and accessible.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that.
But we ended up with, we've had the same guys playing in our chapter forever, and I was starting to hear murmurs where they're like, we want to play nicer courses. We're a little older now. We've
Guess
got a
what?
little
We're
more
all
money.
40 now. We're all 40.
Correct.
We all have jobs.
Correct.
We would like to play
So-
a nicer course, and we're down.
So now we do a mix, like because we have our 4 majors. So we've got the Bastards, we've got the FU Open for Freedom and Unity,
Obviously.
the MGA Championship, and then the Bradish Open. So we do those at nicer courses, typically, and then the other 4 are non-majors, which those will probably
Which
still
don't
be at the
matter at all.
munis.
Kind of,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. And I know you guys have like a whole qualifying process, and you guys do like an end of the year event is it Vegas? Was it this past year?
World Championship.
That's
in
fucking
Las Vegas
awesome.
every year.
How many people did you
Yeah.
guys have this past year down there?
This year we had, I think it was like 350, which was actually down a little bit from the previous year,
Yeah.
but we just
But
moved
no,
it to,
I think we've narrowed it in 350. That's it.
yeah, it was nice.
That's the
it was
number.
funny. It felt small because the last couple
I
of years
know.
it had been around 400. So
Just more
yeah.
manageable, I would imagine.
Yeah.
yeah.
We've been growing forever, and then finally we got to a point where it was like, here it is. Also, we changed a couple things with dates and stuff, but me and John, we wanted to rein it in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah.
we
I-
wanted it to
well,
be.
It's a lot to manage.
Oh, hell
core
yeah.
Group, the
Yeah.
people who really want to be there.
Yeah.
There's the point where you're just growing just to grow, and that's, I don't know, that's not that great. Don't grow just to grow.
No. No,
You have to
I
grow
don't
with
think that's-
purpose. Like you have to
Add-
know
add
how to
only
manage it
cool
all as you
people.
grow. And
Yeah.
And again,
Add
you guys
cool
have already
people,
built this
shit,
over 20
yeah,
years. I mean, you guys were predating like social media marketing and stuff like that. And if you are kind of going more for
No. We had MySpace. What are you
Oh
talking
no!
about?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. You're right. You're correct. I forgot. I stand corrected. But you
you're
guys are
out of
going
my
for.
top
You guys
8
care
right
more
now.
about vibes and the people that are in it than necessarily just like obviously monetary gain, which is nice to see. Like it's nice.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably why you guys have like keep growing organically without even trying.
And
yeah, we got there. We're here. Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is like the model is the chapter leader is a volunteer. The chapter leader just enjoys organizing things, is super into the idea of it, wants to set these things up for his friends and have this structure that can then connect them to all these other chapters and of course go to Vegas.
Yeah,
if
you're
they
plugged in. Yeah.
want to.
Correct.
So, because of that, like I definitely need to feel personally connected to each of those people. They can't just be another number that found an optimized ad or something like that. I gotta know who they are. I gotta
It's true.
talk to them because they're
They need to be able
volunteering
to
their
call
time.
John at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And-
No, only you do that, buddy.
So you guys go way back, obviously at least 20 years. How have you guys how did you start playing golf together? How do you guys
yeah,
know
what was
each
your
other?
meet cute?
We've
Yeah.
gone back 21
Oh
years.
shit! Are you
21
serious?
years.
Well, okay, yeah. I was working at a Starbucks in the Castro, and my buddy worked there. And wait, okay, hold on. My buddy worked there, and then you were just coming to visit him. Is that right?
Oh, what? No. I moved to San Francisco in 2005,
Okay.
and my friend worked at Starbucks with Willie. So I
Yeah.
went, yeah. And then we started golfing, and then the next year we started the MGA. So
That's
Actually,
fucking crazy.
no,
we
that's
went
true.
back 1 year before the MGA.
Now, tell me about
I-
your previous to this.
No,
Like, had you played
John
competitive
literally
golf?
Walked up to me while I was like making drinks, and he was like, "Hey, man!" And then he was like, "Do you like golf?" And I was like, "Yeah, I like golf." And then one time golfing together, we're like, "Yeah, all right, let's just do this all the time."
Fuck yeah! I mean,
That's
obviously,
the real story, John. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it is funny because it's so weird.
had either one of you guys played like competitive golf prior to all this?
I actually had barely started golfing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, John was a
I-
golfer. You were a golfer.
Yeah, I was golfing quite a bit. And
Okay.
I played an intramural season once at Ohio State when I was going there.
Hell yeah.
And
Oh, all right.
So
And
actually, I
that
think
was
this
it.
is
I
this
lost.
is the weird.
OH.
This
Hi-yo,
is how it
baby.
went down. John and me both got the weird golf bug individually, like a couple days before we met each other in normal life. Do you know what I'm saying, John?
Oh,
Like
that's
you
No.
had been playing at Ohio.
Yeah.
I've heard you talk about this. Like you were playing at Ohio. You were like, should I go to class or should I just
Yeah.
go golfing again? And then I was at the exact same time playing with my ex-wife who told me just hit a ball one time. And I was like, oh shit! And then we moved in together, and we played 160 days out of a year.
Jesus Christ.
God damn.
Now, how often do you guys play now? Do you guys still get out quite a bit?
Not that much.
No, I have a 4-year-old, so I play
Amen,
the
brother.
MGA tournaments, and that's most of my golf now.
That's why
Wait,
I
Don,
liked this,
can I
because I'm like,
say
oh,
I
I would
played
have to go
today?
play then.
Yeah, I'm forced. Dang.
Yes.
Well, exactly. And that what's funny is that was like one of the selling points early on when I was talking to people about the MGA. I'm like, it's great. It gets it on your calendar. It is a legitimate tournament. So you can be like, listen, I've got to go. I'm second on the money list right now with $3.25.
Yeah,
I've
correct.
got to show up. I
Uh-huh.
don't want any chance of winning this thing. So so I was telling people that, just talking out of my ass because I was single and whatever. And now that's totally my life. It's like, okay, these are on the calendar for the year. I know I'm going to golf
Oh, yeah.
those days. And if I get some other rounds, it's great.
Yeah, I do. I know you've been getting out more.
Yeah, I mean, I golfed pretty much at least 18 holes like every week in the summertime
Oh, nice.
this year. But I have no
You know what you
kids.
gotta do
If I
with
did
golf?
that.
You gotta set up. You gotta have a foursome.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah,
You
I mean, I
gotta
have.
like a little group that goes out once a week.
Luckily, my dad's a big time golfer
Tuesday
too,
or
so
Wednesday or whatever.
I'll just call him and be like, "Hey, we're golfing." Or like I have a couple buddies that like they're just random
Yeah.
though. So I have enough buddies that I like get interjected with, but I'm always that guy that they like call because they want somebody to boost their like the group handicap. all the time.
Hold on, John. Do we know how good these guys are? Are these guys?
We're not
about to
that
join
good.
They said
the
they were
Cleveland
an
chapter
8
and like kick their ass.
They said they were an 8 and a 9. And
8 and 9, which is really
I should
good.
tell you guys. Yeah, I should tell you guys.
In the
if
MGA,
you-
that's really good.
If you break 80 in a tournament, you are disqualified from
Yeah.
that tournament. You're not kicked out.
Oh, I'm not gonna break 80.
You're,
I've only broken.
we're not
I've only
gonna-
broken
I
80
mean, we're not gonna like you anymore, but
3 times in my life.
See, my thing is like for a tournament
Yeah.
like that, my objective
ju-
is
broken
to
eight.
beer a hole. So, I'll just drink my way through it.
Oh yeah,
I'm never.
and
Gonna
that's the
score
thing. Like
well.
I wanted to know, like, is this a serious tournament? Just so like I don't make an ass of myself when I get there. But like I'm there
Okay,
for like I
John-
want to get out and
John
have a
has
good
broken
time.
80. John
I'm not
has-
trying to make a living playing golf. I want to go out there and hang
John's
out
a
with
pretty
cool
good
people
golfer.
and have a good time. But it still fuels like the competitive side. Like that's why when I was going through this
Right.
website, I'm like, this is everything we've been looking for, man.
yes,
Like
and you
So you guys
Yeah,
are
you're supposed to-
okay. Once you guys get in the Cleveland chapter, yes, you will get it. Like I can tell, John.
Yeah.
These guys are
you're,
good.
you're
guys are
supposed to go out there and play as well as you can. And like the breaking 80 rule should be self-policing, because anybody
Yeah.
in the MGA, in a mediocre golf association, who understands that the line in the sand is like 18 handicap,
Mhm.
most of them have never broken 80. So if they have a chance to do it, they're not going to like flub a putt to shoot at 80 on the
oh,
number,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
They're going to break 80 if they can.
Now my goal
if
is to
they
try to get
do-
disqualified from a tournament.
exactly. That's
Right.
That's what
So
I'm going
now
to shoot
if
for.
You do, you get disqualified. So you'll be at the bottom of the results, but you get a tiny little trophy keychain. 'Cause
Yeah.
you win it with a gross award. We will acknowledge
Fair
that
enough.
you are the best golfer on the day.
Yes.
For sure.
Tiny achievement of being good.
So
at
I
golf.
got my original golf buzz when I was in grad school, because there was four of us that all loved golf. We were golfed a little bit in high school, but never took it that seriously. And we went out like every day after class. So I did this forever. And then I had kids, and then I gave it up for like 6 years. 2 years ago
Big
on
mistake.
yeah,
Big
2 years ago, amen, brother. So 2 years, especially after today, let me tell you, man, like I was like, if anyone wants one, he can take one. It's 2 years ago on Father's Day, my brother and my dad just showed up at my house. I knew no idea that they were coming, and they kidnapped me and took me for 18 holes of golf. And that was, I told my wife, we came back, I'm like, the worst thing you could have done was let me go once, because now I'm hooked again.
Yep.
I went out and bought new
Yeah.
clubs this year. I just bought a new 3-wood the other day. Like I'm fully into it. I'm like,
Now-
you're screwed. You're screwed. And I bought
You
my
guys
daughter
started
clubs for her
this
birthday just so I have a
particular
golf partner.
podcast.
What's that?
This particular podcast is a cornhole podcast.
Yes.
Yes,
Correct.
but this is so that we also have a Patreon edition. So this will be, I think this is going to be on the tail end of like our normal episode. Like as we
Well,
normally do
I
an
was just
interview.
gonna tell you guys, I'm phenomenal at cornhole.
Okay.
And I
You could
think
probably
John
beat.
is
You could
too.
probably kick our ass.
I think me and John could probably take you guys like any day of the week.
That's fine.
I'm
Hell,
just
you probably
saying.
could.
Yeah, again, like we talk about
Like, just on
cornhole
any
because
given
we're
day.
not good at it.
That's why we talk
So-
about cornhole. Yes, correct.
like not today, but on any other given day.
I think I'm a better golfer than I am cornhole player.
Let's get into that
Yeah.
point.
In
Now,
all honesty,
I'd be very curious to see these guys said they have really low handicaps, John. I think they're gonna fuck us
Yeah.
up at golf, right?
Not if you have the
think what?
handicap rule, though.
I think the 7 and 8, is that what I heard?
I'm an 8 flat. He was
It's
you're like
9.1.
Yeah,
Right. So
Well, John, I'm
8
like
flat,
a 15, dude.
You would have 10 penalty strokes.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If you're playing that way, then it does even everything out.
honestly,
Yeah.
I love it because it's like
Yeah.
it's battling myself
that's how we
still.
play.
I like that.
The way
we
my
play.
goal for that tournament, really, like personally, would be like if I know I'm getting those strokes, just try to break 90 again. You know what I mean? It's like just.
Well, actually, yeah. So if you're an
You mean
8
break
handicap,
80?
you have 8 penalty strokes.
Well, I'm saying like if I'm getting those
80
8 penalty
80
strokes,
on the number, which again,
Yeah.
you cannot break.
correct?
82 is the best score you can shoot.
Okay,
Or sorry, 88 is the best score you shoot. Yeah,
okay.
it's hard to win.
Yes,
Hard to win out there.
very much so. No,
well,
I'm excited. I
especially
can't
in a-
wait.
Yeah.
And me
A
and
big
John
chapter
did
like
that
that,
on purpose.
but-
No, I like it though. It's unique, and it goes back to the like you doesn't be the you don't want to
mediocre golfer wins.
Correct. And you don't-
not the good
and you
golfer,
take
not
away
the bad
sandbagging.
golfer.
You guys you eliminated sandbagging, which is the number
We
one thing
tried.
in these like
That
little
was
tournaments.
The whole goal.
100%,
yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm almost seeing like that's been the big thing
You
in
know,
cornhole
here's
is
the
people
problem.
lower their stats so
Somehow
they can
they
play in
get
other
through.
tournaments and stuff, and
Mhm.
that would be the limitation right there.
Absolutely.
Interesting, very interesting.
So yeah, the first 5 scores you put in when you join are user scores, and then everything after that is only tournament scores. So you
Okay.
know, if you're going to sandbag, you're going to have 3 witnesses every round. that
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
doing it.
yeah.
It's going to be tough.
Correct.
So
Correct.
and like you're
How do you-
finishing.
by the
every
way, how
putt.
do you
we know
sandbag-
these are legitimate rounds.
How do you sandbag at cornhole?
So
'Cause
ba-
that
It's a lot of it's
sounds
based
very
off what they
hard.
call
So,
PPR,
Yeah, PPR is
Points
points
per
per round.
What's that?
points per round.
Okay.
So, like
So-
how many like so you can in one round of cornhole, the best round you can have is 12.
No, but like, how do you do that worse and then pretend to be worse? Okay.
There's ways.
People will just
There's
throw
ways.
bags off.
Yeah.
You know, they'll
All right.
they'll average, a 10 PPR through like a normal day.
God, I love.
Then they show up and only throw
every-
a 4 and then,
every
get seated
competition,
lower
we're gonna
and
figure it out.
yeah.
Always.
Yeah,
Correct.
always.
100%.
And it's been a huge thing in cornhole since we've started this podcast. Like it has been a point of contention for everyone running tournaments that they
for sure.
cannot figure out ways
Yeah.
to eliminate all the sandbagging.
Yeah,
So,
and that's
by the way, John also texted me about this podcast. You guys moved from cornhole into golfing into now anything?
So we've always been cornhole based, and then over like the last
Yeah,
Six-
cornhole based. Like
Yeah.
over
Cornhole
like less few months we've been starting to interview people outside of like that realm, and
yeah.
people comment all the time. We basically start off every episode like recapping what we did golfing like the last this past week. So it's
That's
just become
so
a big part of the
sick that
show.
You took a cornhole podcast and now we're talking about golf.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I like though. I just want to talk to interesting people who have good ideas. So it's just like right in our wheelhouse. So as soon as I saw the league, I'm like, dude, I got to get in contact with these guys.
Well,
we got to go to
honestly-
an event. As soon as I saw they had Cleveland chapter.
As you guys know, golf is filled with many degenerates. Cornhole is literally degenerates. Like
Yes,
we
correct.
are all
I feel like we're in a
Yeah.
similar world.
exactly the
100%.
crossover. Like
Yeah.
I've been seeing stuff for the Cleveland
I feel
MGA
like
for
John,
years now.
Yeah.
I just never
I
bit the
will-
bullet.
I'll tell you this: we lost our San Diego chapter leader to cornhole early on.
No.
We had a chapter in San Diego.
What was the name of the guy?
Um,
I'd be-
don't
I'd be able to
dox
tell you if we
him.
probably know him.
because he actually he started competing.
He's a cornhole guy.
Yeah,
Is he
I don't-
still
I
in it
don't-
right
I
now?
don't want to say
Yeah.
professionally, but he
It has to
no,
be a small community.
I don't know
right?
if he still does it.
It is a relative.
I'll-
Well,
I'll
for
look
yeah,
up.
it is.
I'll look it up.
Okay, yeah, I'd be interested to know.
the
But
media
yeah,
over
honestly,
golf
there's a
space is
chance that
small
some
community.
we have a very big listener base, and somebody in California know who's this
Oh,
is. So
yeah.
if you know who this is, just comment on our Facebook post, and I'd be interested,
Yeah.
or tag them or something, because I'm sure we probably know who it is.
Okay,
I'd
well,
even listen.
hold on. I want to ask you guys a question here.
Sure.
So, how did you guys start doing a podcast on this? Like, this is I love this.
Very niche.
People podcasting about their local cornhole league, and then it turns into
So kind of. So
this is
all right. So
Barstool sports, like
so okay, that was my goal. Like honestly, that was originally.
Okay, no, yeah.
So
Yeah.
I wanted to start a podcast about my profession in real life is the physical therapy. So I was going to start one through work, but I wanted to practice with something just so I knew how the tech worked and I didn't sound like an idiot. So Dane and I were in a cornhole league just to get me out of the house on Monday nights, just to get out of the house, to play. We met some cool people. He pitched the idea. I'm like, all right, let's talk about it. So it kind of started as a little bit of a joke. Well, at the same time, like right as we're starting the podcast, cornhole started airing on ESPN through the American Cornhole League. So we started covering kind of that league and interviewing pro players, and then just it's turned into what it is over the last 5 years. So
Yeah.
just kind of snowballed from there, and just had no plans on it ever evolving. But we've been very fortunate we have a very loyal fan base, and the people that are watching this right now are on Patreon. So thank you again.
Yeah,
we love you guys.
Travel around the country, hit up different tournaments, and
Then we just got back from
See
Texas
people
2 weeks ago. We go to Florida next month. So we kind of jump all around, going to promote these tournaments, go get content, and just, do the social media grind thing on the side. So it's cool. But that's why I don't golf as much as I would like to, because I'm here doing this 2-3 nights a week. So it just takes time away from the family. So it is what it is. But
well, he's trying to convince my wife to allow me to turn my garage into a simulator.
Dude, his garage is built for a personal simulator. It really is. It's perfect.
Nice.
It really is. So
But I think me and John need to start taking cornhole a little more serious.
yeah,
Hey.
dude, it's huge out in California. It's big out in
Honestly,
California.
After every MGA tournament, just have the mediocre cornhole league going on.
Actually,
right there.
I did. Okay, so I did send him some ideas for our gift bag next year. One of them was a little tiny cornhole.
I'll get you guys legit bags with
Sandbag,
the
a little
MGA
sandbag.
logo on them and stuff.
Little MGA sandbag.
Ooh,
Yeah,
all right.
we can get you really high quality print ones and
Oh,
stuff.
We can go something small, like a little
Now we gotta talk about
stocking
these.
stuffer.
All right.
Nice.
A bunch of stuff. But yeah, man, this has been awesome. I think we're gonna let the folks go at home, but we'll have you guys hang on for just a minute. But thank you very much for taking time out of the day. I know it was completely random when I emailed you guys, and you guys for taking a shot and coming on. It's something that you guys don't normally do, so I do really appreciate that.
It's been fun.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I do normally do this.
We were warned
Let's,
beforehand, so
Let's talk again after you guys play in your first.
I would.
tournament.
Yeah,
No,
seriously.
100%.
Yeah,
Give us your
100%.
impressions.
Wait,
100%.
wait,
Yes, I can't wait.
Actually, no, you're right, John. Let's get these guys out, dude. Come on.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get it.
You're
Yeah,
not
we're
that
gonna do
far
it
away, right?
in Cleveland.
Cleveland, Ohio.
Oh, sorry, not from us, but from.
from our
Oh no! They're all over
Yeah.
us. Oh yeah.
their leagues
shit,
are literally those tournaments are literally courses
There's a
that are 10
tournament
minutes
right there
from
in
us.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes, we're gonna go to at least one of them. So we're just trying to figure out date wise because we got traveling for the cornhole tournament
Well,
stuff. But
Okay, I mean, we know the guy, so it's happening.
hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I'm here for
Jared
it.
Yutzi? Yeah, I could text him right now and be like, "Hey,
Reach out to those guys that messaged you. They're legit.
John,
Answer your fucking Instagram.
give him some special treatment, or I don't know.
For sure.
Well, we want to reach out to him to maybe
We'll talk about it.
We'll
talk about
we'll talk about it off air.
For sure. Well, thank you guys again for joining us. We'll have you guys on again. As a recap of after we go to one of your events. But thanks for taking time out of the day. And we'll have you guys hang on for just a moment. But hope you guys enjoy the episode. We'll be back next Wednesday with another episode, more audio gold. As always, we hope you throw it straight. And it's nothing but four baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.
Recording stopped.